Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado in the United States. My co-host is Angelus. He's from Brisbane and Queensland, Australia. Hello, Angelus.
Hashtag where's Den?
Exactly. Where in the hell is Den? I mean, it's been, 3 months and this guy's not here yet. So anyway, it is what it is, I suppose. We got a couple other folks coming on. I think Maxie's coming on, and perhaps Odd John Hoots also will be on. Or at least I sent him invites. I sent several people invites. And if any of you guys want to get on the stream, you can do so by clicking on that link. I put it in the chat a couple of times. So, just click on it, and we're real friendly here. We're not, we're not real formal. I guess you could say that'd be true, wouldn't you, Angelus?
Yeah, I mean, I see it as like for those guys that we just mentioned, as like this stream. Like this stream isn't just for people who want to sort of, dip their toe in or test the waters, but it's an opportunity for those other guys that we mentioned to, I guess, let their hair down from. Metaphorically speaking, from the Radio Chaos show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're a lot less formal. I think they're, the Radio Chaos show is really well organized, and Angelus and I are both on that, and we have to behave ourselves on that channel. So, so not like on this channel anyway, or on this stream. So, okay, well, you guys can see, I guess, F. Nordley, you asked me what the, or was it you? It might have been you or Sluggy. I can't remember. It asked what the subject was tonight. We're going to take a look at all the men that are in Alita's life, and not all of the men that are in Alita's life. Actually, the men that basically that have a sort of a somewhat positive relationship with Alita. We're not going to be talking about Gruishka, who was her chief protagonist or antagonist or enemy. Let's put it like that. Vector or Zapan, neither one of those guys. Any other adversaries that she would have, like there were several of them on the motorball track. So, we're not going to be talking about those guys. We want to talk about the guys that are sort of, that even has at least a somewhat positive relationship with her. And it can be any of them, not just the movie. It can be from the manga and the anime. So any thoughts on that, Angelus?
Yeah, it's just, I've lost track. Oh, now I remember. It's just so people think that we're not, focusing on any particular group. There are, I guess, female antagonists such as K. Rula and Erica, for example.
Yeah.
But I mean, they sort of fit the bill of people who have that are not only, like I said, antagonists, but also people that have had influence. I don't know if I guess you could sort of say K. Rule had a somewhat positive influence in the context that it made Alita stronger.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, she definitely had a positive influence on her. But I wanted to focus on the men, because I think Alita, I think that's the way she slanted anyway toward the men. So particularly Hugo, we're going to talk about him. But yeah, just the guys in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the first one. Now, by the way, it doesn't have to be a lover or anything like this. I mean, obviously, Doc Ito is not, a lover or anything like that. Although, when you read the manga, at least initially, you kind of get a feeling that he is a little bit creepy, I guess, with her. It was kind of, I guess, it's about the best way I can put it. On the anime, it's a little different, I guess. And then certainly in the movie, Ito is more of a father figure to Alita. So, but anyway, that's definitely a big at least at the very most, a very positive relationship, in terms of never, opposing her, at least in a physical sense, like, like fighting her or anything like that. Just really supportive and that kind of thing.
I wonder if that's more of a, I guess, a Western specific culture thing, because, like, I mean, it's easy for us to say that, yeah, like at the beginning, especially for those that have read the manga, Doc Ito is sort of creepy, but I don't know, maybe it's not so much as a culture shock for the Japanese, or maybe it's, I wouldn't say part of their culture, but maybe they're more desensitized to it. I don't know.
Or you mean, in other words, they might see him as being less creepy or something like that?
Yeah, or maybe it could just simply be lost in translation, and like he did see it as like instead of being creepy, maybe they wanted to come across as him wanting to make something beautiful in a world of ugly that is Iron City. And like for those that have read the manga, they'll know what we're referring to. But for those that don't know the manga or only recently been introduced to it, yeah, it could come off as a little off-putting, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, particularly in the manga, I guess. But yeah, I guess, Doc Ito himself, I think he, in all three cases, he kind of wants to, it's even in the manga after a while, he wants to treat her like a little doll type thing, or he wants her to be, as well put in the movie, as Alita said, he just wants me to be his perfect little girl, and I think that pretty much comes across eventually, even in the manga. He wants, he wants to keep her from harm. He doesn't want her getting involved in any kind of, hunter warrior type stuff. Although in the manga, eventually they do become a team, I think is the way that works out. I've only seen the anime one time. I don't remember a lot about that one, but certainly in the movie, Doc Ito does not want Alita to be a teammate or anything like that. He's, he's, as he told her, it's his dirty business and it's dangerous and stuff like that. And he doesn't want her blood on those hands too, as he put it. So, but in all three cases, I think they all want the best for her eventually, and not, and do kind of hold her back, I think, to a degree. In the movie now, I think Doc Ito kind of, he kind of loosens up a little bit when he realizes he messed up by not letting her be herself. So, but other than that, I think all three of them only, their heart is in the right place. They only want what's positive for her.
And that's where they sort of, I guess, converge. Like, I mean, again, as Westerners, we might see that as more of a being a fatherly figure. Maybe perhaps in the manga and or / anime, he starts to see her as more of a teammate, and then obviously Alita sees her as like someone that's got like a, from her perspective at the time, years of life experience on her, even though she's over 300 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's kind of an enigma, isn't she? Or almost like a paradox. I mean, she is a teenager, at least the beginning in the movie, and eventually, of course, I always thought, once she got that berserker body, she was like in her early 20s, But yeah, I mean, with I think Dizzy points this out in the chat, about how it's either Dizzy or maybe it was F. Nordley said Nova had a really kind of a ambiguous relationship with Alita, because sometimes in the manga, including the Mars Chronicle, he's kind of helping her, and other times he's really hindering her, he's opposing her. even to the point of being almost like an enemy, you know. But with him, I think his thing is just we're going to get to him in a little bit, but it's for him, it's more of a curiosity thing. He wants to see, I think in some cases, well, how is she going to handle this, or what's going to be the outcome of, you know, like her fighting Zapan when he gets a berserker body, you know. So I think that's kind of where he's coming from. But yeah, he does definitely have an ambiguous relationship, but not Doc Ito. I mean, yeah, maybe a little creepy in the manga in the beginning, but in all three cases, there's no ambiguity. All three of those representations or characters really care about Alita, and they only want the best for her.
And if anyone that's watching is like me and had to Google that big word, ambiguous means open to more than one interpretation or not having one obvious meaning, or where something isn't clear or decided. I had to look that up just to know what it means. And then obviously, by looking up what it means, it almost like it sort of opens my mind. It's like, wow, I learned something today.
Yes. And by the way, it's Nordley, I guess. I mispronounced your name, and I meant no harm doing that. You know, it's just, you know, kind of hard seeing things sometimes. You know, us Westerners, you know, we'll see letters in a certain way, and it's just the way we pronounce it, you know. So my apologies there, Nordley. I guess I hope I got that one right.
Is that, just to get a little bit off track here, and we'll get back on track in just a second, is that similar to the word fjord? Fjord, I believe. Ford, something like that.
He
again,
does
the J being silent, and you know, in this case, obviously, there's no sort of silent letter. It's like, I don't know, Nordley.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Again, it's a culture thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe the F
translation.
is silent. You know, I think that may be what he's saying.
But anyway, yeah, so back onto the track again.
Yes.
Not ambiguous.
Okay, this guy. You know, I have mixed feelings about Hugo myself. I mean, you know, I know in the manga I see him as just a, well, to be blunt about it, just like a little shit. That's what I think of him. So, and even to some degree in the anime, I only saw that one time. In the movie, it's a little bit different, I think, because I think in the manga, at the very least, he doesn't even really think about Alita that much. You know, I mean, you know, I guess he does eventually to some degree, but his only number one goal is to get to Zalem, because he's kind of like a street urchin, you know. Now he does have a, you know, a somewhat positive relationship with Alita, and he certainly does in the anime too, although it's kind of not like the movie. The movie is more, you know, where they kind of fall in love and that kind of thing. And then of course, Hugo, you know, is redeemed, you know, eventually toward the end. Although I didn't like this guy very much in the movie, even the first time I saw it, because he, you know, basically he's, you know, he was partly responsible for Alita getting hacked to bits, you know, by Growishka, you know, so because he and his team, you know, jacked Kanuba, you know, and got the grind cutters. And then of course, after he even saw those grind cutters, you know, that they had jacked off Kanuba, now he saw Growishka had them. They showed up, you know, they took a shot of him, you know, while he was doing that. And while, you know, when Growishka showed up at the Kansas bar, and the look on his face was one of incredulity, I guess. But, you know, he still, even at that point, he still met with Vector to try to, you know, kind of, you know, solidify a deal for him to get up to Zalem, you know. So, and I think even at that point, I just thought even then he had no honor whatsoever. But eventually, I think he does come around, and he decides he can't do that anymore, like he told Tanji. And, I guess you could say in the movie, he kind of found the error of his ways, although it was too little too late, as they would say. Any thoughts on that, Angelus?
Oh, I'm muted. I just had the perfect joke. I was basically saying, you were saying too little, too late, and I was saying, and in Cran's case, too short. But
I don't think she's out there, but
it's once this video gets uploaded, it'll be on the internet.
yeah. Oh, she'll see it eventually, won't she?
I for the most part, I'd agree, especially about the honor part, but I wouldn't say it's to that, I guess, extreme, because this really puts into, I was about to say contrast, but that's not the right word, but really puts into perspective what I said about Doc Ito earlier, because he's a perfect example that someone that doesn't have a lot of life experience or be able to, I guess, adapt so quickly. Perhaps maybe another angle you could look at it is that he's got tunnel vision with his sights set on Zalem, and it wasn't until basically Alita, ripped open that tunnel vision to like make him see the rest of the world, which obviously included Alita. And again, when you said it's too little, too late, well, yeah.
Yeah, he did realize, didn't he?
Unfortunately, well, hate to say it, but karma actually sort of caught up with him. So,
yeah, exactly. When you think about it too, had he not stopped to go tell Tanji he was out, if he'd just gone ahead and gone to the motorball, tryout, where she was trying out for second league, really Zapan was kind of waiting, to try to get Hugo. He wasn't that interested, in Tanji. So I think if Hugo had just gone on to the track, to watch Alita, Tanji would have not, he wouldn't have been sliced in half. They would have jacked that cyborg victim who was Demetrius Polito, but they would have still jacked him. But I think, I think Tanji would have lived to tell the tale, that type thing, because really Zapan was after, he was after Hugo.
it only just occurred to me then, but perhaps Tanji's fate was already sealed. In the sense that let's assume Hugo didn't show up and just went straight to the motorball, as we alluded to. If he did that and Hugo didn't show, then basically it'll just be adding one extra step to Zapan's plan. Say that 10 times real fast. Zapan's plan.
Mm-hmm.
By getting to Hugo, by killing Tanji anyway, because he was doing something illegal, and maybe doing it in a way that would make Hugo upset, and then basically getting to Alita that way. It's just that when Hugo came along, it's like, well, all right, I'll just skip Tanji and just go straight to him to get to Alita.
Yeah. Possibly, yeah. And I like that thing about Zapan. Yeah, he was a perfect a-hole, wasn't he? He definitely was. Although I would say in Zapan's case, and I don't want to get too far afield here on this one, I can kind of identify with Zapan. I mean, yeah, he's an a-hole for sure. But the thing of it is, though, with him, you can see why, he kind of came after Alita or wanted to come after Alita. because she did embarrass him, and of course his ego is going to be so big he can't handle that. And yeah, and you're right, Nordley. I think that's the way I'm gonna say your name. Hopefully that's right. Yeah, he was basically an egotistical bully, wasn't he? Because you saw him beating up on that guy in the Kansas bar when Alita and Hugo first walk into it. So you don't know that whole thing. So, and it's kind of like Dizzy says, everybody has their own story. So that's true. That's very true. And Zapan, at least I can kind of see. With Hugo, it's a little different. He, like I say, he saw those grind cutters, and even after he saw those grind cutters, he still tried to cut a deal with Vector. So that I really, I didn't like him too much for that. So anyway.
Again, for him, it's like or as I said at the beginning, perfect contrasting example of not having a lot of life experience to stop himself from having that tunnel vision I mentioned. I mean, as we mentioned, Doc Ito sort of had it in the beginning, but he was like, oh shit. At least he was able to pull himself back from that.
Yeah.
Like using the manga, for example, he saw that, a creator and his creation. Like he didn't create it, he just fixed her. And while he did sort of approach her as like I guess something fragile, in the end it's like, well, obviously she's still her own person, just one with a total replacement cyborg body. In the movie, as we know, it's they focus more on the father-daughter relationship, and he realizes that his daughter has technically grown up in the span of however many days that he knew Alita, within the time frame of the time frame of the story. I was about to say the time frame of the movie, which would be all of 2 hours, but
Yeah, I mean, the whole story itself, I guess, was like 3 days, wasn't it, or maybe 4?
yeah.
I mean, just when you just look at the timeline on the movie itself, yeah, granted, if you looked at it in total, it's probably months, but the way they only portrayed like 3 or 4 days of that whole time period. So,
assuming Dizzy is probably having a drink, type it in chat. If you can sum it up as short or as long as you want, there's when you reference The Last of Us too.
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, to get it back onto Hugo. So yeah, at least where was I? Yeah, so at least Doc Ito was able to pull himself back and not have such focused tunnel vision, whereas Hugo, he had it there for too long that, if you're not paying attention, like driving is a really good example. If you're not paying attention to like the cars coming beside you, cars coming from your blind spot or behind you, then you're going to have an accident if you're like really sort of tunnel vision on what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And, that's what happened to Hugo. He didn't realize what he had or didn't realize where he was going. And, yeah, he ended up, as they say, crashing and burning.
Yeah.
Like you said at the beginning, too little, too late.
Yeah, because he was still, he was still trying to get to Zalem, wasn't he? I guess even though at that point he did love Alita, I guess, but even at that point, his desire to go to Zalem was greater than his feelings for Alita. So I think that's, I think that was evident by him trying to climb up that that supply tube, or trying to walk up that thing. Even after they had the little scene there in the church, So, yeah, I mean, it's like you say, he didn't realize what he had until it was too late, and then it was too little too late at that point, I guess. I think in the anime it was sort of like that, too. I mean, I think I think although his realization at that in the anime, from what I can remember, was at the very end. I don't think he had that realization during the movie like Hugo did. So, welcome, Diz.
Going on?
We was hoping you'd tell us.
G'day, Diz.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, Diz from Tassie. I love it.
Tassie.
That's right.
Have you had your morning liquid gold?
I'm on the second one now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mate.
You mean caffeine gold, don't you?
Yeah, mate. Brown gold.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what you like? I mean, I don't know. Well, let's face it, I don't know diddly squat about The Last of Us 2, and I know that you've played it pretty extensively. So
Yeah, well,
what were you
with
referring
that,
to there?
with that, right? So, like when I say everyone's got their own story, like you play the first one of that, and you know the two main characters in that, like is you know they carry over into number 2, yeah. But some pretty big things happen, and the main bad guy, which you've probably heard of, in called Abby, and she's like a looks like a bloke. She's massive, but she starts out being the bad guy, and then you go off and you have to find her and all that sort of stuff. But then halfway through the game, it switches and you play her for a long part of the game, and then you're like, is she may not be the bad guy here, you know? Like it really fucks with your mind, but it's really cool, and it's like that's what I'm trying to say is like everyone has their own story, you know what I mean? Like same with Hugo and Japan, like you know you follow their original story, but then in the manga you go for all their backstories, and they have a pretty rough time, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of where I was going with that. That everyone has their own story, you know. It's not sort of just how it is. There's some shit going on in the background that you need to know about, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of get that feeling that Iron City is a tough place to live. I mean, it's kind of like the old West almost.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit going on there. Everyone's hustling, got to make their way, you know. This Hugo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was also saying that without Hugo, we don't get some of the stuff we love about Alita as well.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Like, he brought out some of the things in her that was really, that really made me like Alita, even though he's a dick, but it made Alita do things that I like about her, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, because, Alita really, I did get the feeling that Alita, helped, or Hugo helped Alita get in touch with her human side a little bit more than before. Because I've read about halfway through the Mars Chronicles, or exactly halfway through, and I don't. So far from what I've read, there's really no love interest there so far. I mean, it's it's all her trying to survive. As a little girl, very little girl, and then of course her and Erica fighting at the end of volume 2, I guess. So, that's kind of a lot of what I've taken away from that. So you get the feeling like even here, even though she lived 300 years prior to when Doc Ito found her, Hugo actually helped her discover a little bit more about herself, I think.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, we wouldn't get the chocolate scene without Hugo.
That's right. That's right. We wouldn't have. That's exactly right. Like that's the first time she ever ate chocolate, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know in the novelization, the person that was running that, that little kiosk there, or whatever it was, where they were selling the chocolate, that individual, which was a woman in the novelization, her and Hugo looked at each other like they were astounded that this kid at this point, because Alita was 14, had never eaten chocolate before, and that kind of surprised both of them, I think.
Kind of makes me appreciate, and this is leading into the stream with the extremely big guest we have lined up for Radio Chaos tomorrow, but
Oh yeah.
makes you think that like both that scene and the follow up to that where she goes to Doc Ito when she's having dinner. Then, do you have any chocolate?
Yeah.
Like that. It's completely unrelated. Has nothing to do with the story. Yet, because it's so, I think innocuous is the best word I can think of for it. Because it's so innocuous that it's perfect. It's like I'm glad they at least kept something like that in there. And can you imagine like how many other scenes that they would have had to cut similar to that, where it would have made the whole movie all that much more enriching?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's one of my questions for tomorrow. Is what got left out? I mean, what would have been in the R-rated version? Of the story, because they cut out quite a bit, didn't they? Like half an hour at least, I think, wasn't it, out of the story?
Hmm.
But she would have had to have gone right over all the original source material and then converted, eh?
Yeah.
Well, she went over it, converted it somewhat, and then obviously Rodriguez had to dial it down even further to get that PG rating. Well, I didn't even say that he dialed it down all that much, because
No, they were just really smart about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really smart about it.
But yeah, starting to digress. Basically, she goes, for me, it's the whole tunnel vision analogy, and he didn't realize that he had so much more around him that.
I guess it's like anything, man. You got a dream, right? And you want to do it. That's what you've been working towards forever. You're gonna keep doing it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I guess when shit hits the fan, like he did up on the cable, he he realizes that maybe I got what I need, and then it was too late. And that's exactly how they wanted it to pan out too.
That's a good thought. I hadn't thought of that.
So with Chirin, she obviously again had more life experience, at least over Hugo anyway.
Yeah.
Where she did realize that, she did pull out, but then Vector, in this case, decided to be a dick. Well, actually, in both cases, manga and movie, decided to be a dick and obviously do what he did to stop her from getting away.
Yeah, Nordley asked the question, where can he submit a question for tomorrow's guest? There's a tweet floating around there that you can actually reply to, and I'm not sure I can pull it up.
Maxie's got a post, and then the Leader Army account retweeted it out. So if you scroll down in the Leader Army account, a couple of panels, you'll find it.
Okay, let me see if I can find it, and then I'll share it.
Have
you got it already?
I've linked Maxie's tweet in chat.
Okay.
It won't be right away after the stream, but once the stream's in and we have our usual, what we call after party, for lack of better terms,
yeah,
I might have like a bit of a break, like just sort of step away from the computer screen for however long, and then when I come back, that's when, if Maxie hasn't already done so, that's when I'll sort of start collating all the questions. So you still got a good 4 to 6 hours if guys want to look up that tweet and post your questions.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of questions.
No, he's saying he was yeeted off Twitter. So maybe if you've got a question, man, like, ask now and we'll just put it in the tweet for you.
Yeah, we can do that, Nordley.
Yeah. There's no dramas there, mate.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. Okay, any more thoughts about Hugo?
No, I think we've beaten that stick,
Yeah,
and we've all said our piece.
yeah, that's right. Chaos.
Our,
Yeah. My thought about Chaos is the way Alita probably viewed him. I think I mentioned this before, but I think she views him as having some good values, maybe, and there's some worth to him. He's doing that radio chaos thing and all that. But I don't think she respects him that much as a man. I mean, in terms of, he's not, he's not kind of, well, of course, I mean, he's probably no better than Hugo was in that regard, but I don't think she really thinks of him as, has any love interest in this guy at all. And you can see on the panels on the right there, he tries to make his move, and of course she slugs him, and then of course he doesn't realize. I guess maybe he didn't realize until he touched her, because he had that weird thing he could do where he'd touch people and or touch objects, and he could get the history of it. At least that's the way it was in the manga, So that he, in that particular case, he kind of. She figured out her real name is Yoko, I guess, at that point. And I guess Chaos knew that too, But I think in his case, I don't think she thinks of him in any way at all like she thought of Hugo. So is that kind of what you take away from this, Angelus or Dizzy?
My theory is nice guys finish last.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Angelus.
I was just thinking that's it takes a cop and a feel to a whole nother level. Yeah, when he was literally grabbing the machine, the inner part of a cyborg body.
Yeah.
I mean, again, another manga thing where I mean, you did that to a human, you probably be called a pervert, but to a completely cybernetic replacement body, it's I mean, when he had to repair a leader, Doc Ito would have had to do something similar,
Yeah.
I'd imagine, especially when sort of obviously the movie skipped it, but when they were attaching the daughter's body to a leader's current one.
I think that was though, don't you? I mean, Ito touching her in ways to build her and stuff like that is not what the intention there was. Not like what Chaos's intention was here, right?
No, yeah, that was a lot different.
Yeah, he's trying to, with his, I guess if you can't read that panel on there, but he's with it. He has this kind of a way he can speak in radio waves or something like that, where he's trying to basically seduce her is what he's trying to do. And of course, she's not having any.
I reckon if he kissed her, text to sensors and all that force feedback would have sent him flying 300 k's into the future, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Raul. How's it going?
Hello, everyone. Well, actually, I was going to use your line, Hokkahe, but
okay.
I just forgot it.
That's good, yeah.
How do you do that? Would you make it a purple?
Well, that's an American Indian thing. I don't know. Maybe real Indians can say that. That's cool.
Don't worry. I was just gonna make a fun of it, but not now.
Not a
Hey, what is this? What is going on? I'm a kid. Please have some mercy. Oh, yeah, I was talking.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. Again, my mistake. Yeah.
It's just Dizzy being Dizzy.
That's all right. So Rahul, what do you think of Chaos? What's your thoughts on him?
Oh, chaos. Well, I said that the first time he showed up in the manga, maybe for a few seconds when he repaired Alita, there was little bit love or something from Alita, but it was just the feelings that came out again in that warrior, in that person who was just working as a tool for Tifaris. So, and that's it. And Kaios worked as a good ally for Alita, and yeah, their story is uh, a little bit romantic, but as Kaios already said, that his love is not true. He just borrowed that love from Edo. Those feelings are not maybe real, and maybe if he had never touched Alita, there would be some other person or other relation between them. So maybe Alita knows that. I mean, it could be possible that Alita. I mean, also, Kisiro just tried to convince us that Alita is a warrior character, but still, her feelings and her character is little much. I mean, more like a old woman who will never betray their husband, even if he's. I mean, you know what?
Yeah. Well, even if his feelings, whether they're real or not, they definitely weren't reciprocated, were they? I mean, definitely not. Now, what he did try to do, he got her to wear that wedding dress, and he was
Yeah,
he was freaking out, because she wouldn't marry him, but I guess to shut him up, I guess she put the dress on. maybe that was the incentive there to shut him up, but yeah, there was no feelings from her in his direction like that, I think.
What's his ability called again? I forget now.
So,
it's
Psychometry or psychometry. That's right.
yeah, something like
yes,
that.
yes, psychomat.
Yeah, psychometric.
I
Uh,
wonder,
we-
like what Rahul said, if his feelings were either uh, borrowed from or amplified by uh, a leader's relationship with Hugo when he used his psychometry when he was, uh, when he basically, for lack of a better term, touched her up. Because, like, obviously, when he's like physically kissing her, that's mostly flesh, so to speak. So maybe his psychometry wouldn't work very well. But when obviously he grabbed a cyborg body, and I don't know, maybe his psychometry sort of kicked in when he did, in the way that he did, then that's when, like, while, like, in the few seconds of that kiss and his psychometry kicking in, all of the memories and the history of the cybernetic body flooded Chaos's mind. Like, yes, he can activate it on will, but who's to say that that's power?
So
I don't know.
you're saying that took control of him. I mean, maybe he didn't have feelings at first, but once he touched her, the feelings kind of grew. Is that kind of what you're saying, or am I misunderstanding?
In a way, yeah, because he could be.
Normally, what happens, isn't it?
Say what, Dizzy?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, basically, from what I can understand, what Dizzy was referring to is, we initially liked the character leader, so we went to see the movie, and then, or we initially liked Rosa Salazar as an actress, so we went to go see the movie, and all of a sudden we're crazy Alita Army nuts.
Yeah,
Saying, "Oh my God, I love Alita.
yeah,
There's nothing else in my
yeah,
life but her." And that's almost. It's funny that the stream is named after him because, like, that's almost the like for lack of a better term, the more hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Like we are. I will confess that we can get a little bit nutty at times, but at least we have good reason. It's
That's normally coming from the people that don't like pineapple. That's it.
exactly.
That pineapple's great, though, Diz.
Yeah, man.
20 seconds later, check backstage and see if Max isn't waiting there.
Oh, I'm watching backstage. He's not there. I sent him a DM, so
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's hard to tell what feelings of his are real and what are just born from or borrowed from his psychometry powers.
well, I think maybe he incorporates. I mean, granted, he touches stuff and he gets, he learns from it. He gets the feelings from it or whatever. But I think even if that's the case, even if it's kind of an artificial acquisition of those feelings, I think he can adopt those feelings because he really wanted her to wear that wedding dress, and he really got mad or really got pissed, I guess, because she wouldn't marry him,
Yeah.
And that's when I remember from the manga. And then, of course, she puts the dress on. From what I remember, I haven't read the manga now for probably about 4 or 5 months, so I don't really remember that much. But from what I do remember, her idea was, well, if I put this dress on, will you shut up? That's kind of what I think her attitude might have been, so.
I wouldn't deny that. Yes, of course. Well,
I don't think she put that dress on to marry him. That's for sure.
yeah, so that
Maybe she just wanted to see what it's like to wear it, just cause.
Yeah, well, that's right. That could be the case.
Chicks do that all the time, mate. They rock into the shops and look at me.
Well, maybe so. Maybe that was part of it.
But
so,
I don't think it was in this case.
I don't think so either, really. But who knows? I just think she put the dress on to shut him up. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think you could classify him as kind of a hunk or any kind of buff dude. That if she had those feelings, she certainly wouldn't have that for him because he's not like that. Of course, in that regard, I guess he's a little bit like Hugo, and she, of course, went for Hugo. So who knows? Of course, Hugo was the first one she saw. And so, that might have played into that too. So,
well, but Kaios was really a great character, and Alita cared about him for not for a few minutes. She always care about her friends, and
yeah.
We have to say that Kaios was a really interesting character included in manga, and his switched up personalities and her all stuff with others' feelings. I mean, maybe. He was a great medium to explain others' feelings, others' problems. I mean, to consider a character to explain everyone's desire, sorrow, and all those world's problem and all. And love was one of them.
Yeah. Well, I think Alita did care for him, but I just don't think she had any romantic inclinations toward him. I think she just cared for him, kind of like you said, like a friend, I think.
Yeah, of course. Even one of our best friend.
Yeah.
But also, he's the one. I mean, he's one of them who know everything about Alita. I mean, she met many people in her journey, and some of them knows this story, some of them knows this story. But because of his powers, at least he knows everything about Alita, and that's why she's angry about no more privacy.
Yeah. Well, I think that would. Just from touching her, he learned all that, didn't he? I guess that started her path, or at least was a good kind of pushed her down the road a little bit about figuring out who she really was in terms of being Yoko.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, I wonder what if he tried to learn Alita's Panzerkunst. I mean, by touching, he can learn any fight technique and everything.
Yeah,
Maybe if he, and what if he combine every others strong person's fighting technique like Alita's, then Sech, then maybe other characters. I mean, maybe he can be a strong opponent.
well, I think with him though, yeah, he may learn in kind of a, I guess you would say, in like an educational way. He may learn some fighting techniques, or he may learn, some of the things that you need to do in certain like martial arts. But his body, his body is still, to me, from
Yes.
what I see, is still frail. So he might know how to do a technique, but he's not going to be able to execute it because his muscles, his body is not adapted to doing those techniques. So even though he may have the knowledge to do it, he's not going to be able to do it, because he's not trained. His muscles aren't set up like that.
Yeah, he's fragile. But don't forget that Den in his body at least scared Alita for a few seconds. And what about Carola? She was a, I mean, yes, she was a vampire. Her body physically, biologically was enhanced, and Kaio said himself he's a fragile. His body just,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Okay, so. Kaios, you are good. You have my respect. Just stay away from Alita. She's my.
yeah. Well, I think he's a good person. There's no doubt about that. But he does try to take advantage there, doesn't he? That didn't work out too good for him. So, or
No,
at least he got smacked for it.
no. Previously, Ido tried to make friends with Alita. I mean, to keep Alita safe, and then Hugo moved on. I mean, after that many people, Sky was just showed up and said, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he's just going for the big hit, make her own. Oh well.
Any more
Okay,
thoughts?
so
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no. I was just saying that same.
Okay. Any more thoughts about Chaos?
No, you just at least with Hugo, you know what you're getting. With Chaos, he's just exactly that,
Yeah.
chaotic.
Kind of like the Alita Army, right? Or at least Video Chaos stream. And this stream is even worse.
Like I said, it's funny that our stream is named after him, and not just for the fact that it's a play on words because it's Radio Chaos. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of the devil, Radio Chaos just showed up. How's it going, Chaos?
Great. I think that it's one last thing that would kind of end would be the last order part, and it's
Oh my
interesting
God.
that it's interesting that for the saying that birds can't fly, a bird came flying down out of the sky in chapter 12.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's amazing. Suddenly, I was talking about someone, and now he's here. Hello, Mr. Chaos.
Hey, can someone tell Nova to get muted, please?
Someone, so I don't see anybody's.
Oh, he's in the comments.
Oh, well, we don't want to mute anybody.
I'm just messing.
Yeah.
I just didn't get the words.
He does bring up a pretty good point, though. That, yeah, he can pick up knowledge by touching something, but it's not a permanent, type of adaptation that he gets. I mean, I guess.
Actually, if you watch Last Order, Destiny Nova completely shut it off by putting Chaos in a magnetic field. So,
yeah,
Chaos does have his own kryptonite in that way.
Yeah, he is an interesting individual, that's for sure. So,
Yes.
Well,
Also have.
the funny thing is Koyomi. Does she know that he and Den are the same person? It's almost as if
yeah,
Kishiro was looking at Jimmy Olsen from Superman and said, "Well, let's just make a version of Jimmy Olsen that's a girl." Because let's be honest, Jimmy Olsen's a redhead. So is Koyomi. Koyomi's a photographer, and it's funny because she's like a friend of Den and Chaos, but she doesn't seem to know they're the same person.
yeah,
Jimmy doesn't seem to know that Clark Kent and Superman are the same person. Just
yeah.
saying.
Of course, yeah, of
And
course.
he works with them too.
Well, you know, in the movie Man of Steel, Jimmy Olsen's actually a CIA agent. He's not
Dawn of
he works for
Justice.
the Daily Planet. You know.
Yeah, I was disappointed with that. Come on.
Yeah,
Jimmy Olsen to me is always going to be either Jack Larson from the 1950s show or Mark McClure
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
Christopher Reeve movies.
yeah.
It's
Okay,
like,
any more?
Mr. Kent, what's going? What do you mean they're doing that, Mr. Kent? What's the meaning of all this? I don't know,
Yeah.
Jimmy. It sure looks suspicious to me.
Yeah. Well, any more thoughts on Chaos?
Well, nothing more, but want to ask who's behind this beautiful picture? Whose drawing is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
What? This
okay,
one,
okay.
the middle one?
The panels on the right are from the manga. I don't know about that one in the center.
That's wrong.
Okay,
It's supposed to be a whitehead, not a blonde.
Yeah,
but it's a
everybody
draw.
is. Yeah, and plus Alita's not a
If I
redhead.
could,
She's
I'd share the video game images of him, just because it shows him in color that way. It's like it's
okay.
white hair.
Okay, okay.
He's dressed
Well,
in
do
blue.
you have it? I'll if you want to share your screen, I'll put it up there.
Yeah, let's see if I could.
While you're looking that up, sort of keeping on track.
I'm actually gonna see if I can donate the video game footage to the wiki because they don't seem to like show that at all. Like I'm gonna do that because you don't see him in color in the manga really, unless.
Yeah.
Or I was also gonna colorize it.
Yeah, that's why sometimes.
Well, definitely Alita is not a ginger. That's for sure. She's
She's supposed to be dark haired.
yeah, she's very dark haired. Anyway, almost black hair. I would think. Pretty close, if not black. So
Maybe that's how that artist intended it to be.
yeah, that's probably true. I just put that picture there because I thought it looked neat. So.
No, it's a good one. But I will say black and white is good because you wouldn't have to worry about colors.
Yeah.
For Kissy, less work for Kissy.
Well, my last word is that they pretty much Max Payne me, man. They killed the blonde.
Yeah, well, he's not. Yeah, you're right. He's not blonde. He's white haired, isn't he?
No. They killed Lou. Like she is dead, and when I mean dead, she's not going to be what the one that they have up there. She won't. That's not the one who will ever know anything about him. That's the messed up part about it.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
Actually, yeah,
Of
because
me never knowing her. And to me, and the only thing that bothers me that much is that it kind of feels like they cut down her significance quite a bit. I mean, she was like a last minute addition, but still, that's harsh.
yeah.
That's harsh.
that does put into perspective, because obviously when we do meet Lou, it's her like the more experienced biochip Lou that we meet, and
but any chance of her knowing Chaos and getting with him, that's dead, because Chaos went off to visit other planets at the end of Last Order, and the one that they have is her brain. She doesn't know him at all. She never met him. That's that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's like, and the reason why I was thinking Max Payne, because I recently played the first game, and he his blonde wife named Michelle gets killed for finding out the wrong information. They pretty much killed Lou for doing the wrong thing too.
it could just be very much like the whole Punisher story, where his family was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well,
But anyway, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, wasn't
That-
Lou was kind of Alita's what they call connection to Zala, wasn't she, or the Tune program, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Yes.
she was put as the supervisor, so Bigot Eisenberg could play good cop, bad cop on her. Lou being good cop,
Yeah.
Eisenberg being bad cop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, any more thoughts on Chaos?
He's off in outer space. He's gone.
Yes. Right. That's right. He left. That's exactly right.
Which is different from the manga as it originally was because he stayed on Earth, but now apparently he could go off and visit other planets. Cool.
Yeah,
I thought Chaos went up to Zalem, and then I guess was it Juru at the end, or it might have just been Zalem.
It was Jeru, and then he said he was going to go off and visit other worlds.
Yeah.
So
Because I think
maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah. I hope to see many other characters return, maybe in again in Mars Chronicle.
Yeah, because I think he and Doc Ito and Koyomi and Figure Four and all them, they discover, I guess, the Alita that was in the bio printer or whatever that thing was. And I remember
I believe she's legitimate enough. I think it's a paradox of twins. I mean,
yeah,
she does remember everything the other leader does up to a point.
Yeah, up to the point where the baby bomb got her. So,
I'm just saying it'd be like identical twins where, she's enough to be a legit person. Both of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember Doc Ito says the end of it, I wonder where the other Alita is, So
Yeah. Also in the game Mars Chronicle, Martian Memories.
Martian Memory.
Yeah, because I played that game also, and the whole story just and also if I am not wrong, this game came out before Last Order and Mars Chronicle, and I think Kishiro tried to complete his story through game. Then he released Last Order, then Mars Chronicle. That's why many elements from game seems like altered or changed and then converted in manga because in the end of the game every person, every character just came to meet with Alita in space in that Mars cities. I remember that. It was long
Yeah,
ago when I was
it's
playing.
true. But they killed
Yes.
that ending. I mean, they killed it. I'm feeling
Yes.
like the end of Planet of the Apes right now. Like, destroyed it. They blew it all up.
Yeah, also many MIB robots and all machines. I already saw them in that game. Also, Baron, that phase disease. I don't remember that phase disease on Mars.
Mask tumor.
Yeah, yes, what was the gentleman name? I really love that character.
Oh, Baron Muster.
Byron Muster. Yeah, Baron Muster.
He's as much trash as Nova is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a bad bias against Nova. I
Yeah.
don't really like him.
Yeah, okay. Cause the whole game was in Japanese, I couldn't understand the story. But I also saw a character with that disease, and also that Alita in the castle of a Martian princes,
General,
or I
I'm not
think.
sure how you pronounce his name. His name is General Palm Chomkin. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. But he's the one who made the duplicate berserker bodies because he collected pieces of Alita's berserker body that she lost from bleeding and other accidents, and he made his own berserker bodies from collected cells of her berserker body on Earth.
Yeah.
You guys, let me welcome Odd John Hoots.
Funny.
Let me welcome Odd John Hoots. How's it going, John?
Oh.
I'm actually curious here. Hold up. Did I miss something about multiple berserker bodies?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the video game Martian Memory, there's been a guy who was behind the scenes collecting like bits of Alita's like blood or pieces of her berserker body from when she got injured, and he made clone berserker bodies from the cell Berserker cells that he collected, and he's the
So you could
end
say
boss.
he reverse engineered the Berserker body.
I call it
So
cloning because it's just like, you take genetic samples. So he got Berserker body samples and made other Berserker bodies.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the end boss.
oh shit. So that means I can't remember who I was telling this, but my theory that well, not really a theory, but or I guess idea, I hope could happen maybe in the sequel, instead of her getting, because I don't see in the movie them getting rid of Alita's Berserker body that she has. I don't think that because she got rid of it in the manga because it reminded her too much of Eva, but I don't think they're going to do that in the next one. I
You
think
think they're
going
going
to
to
hang on
collect
to
some
it.
of her blood
That's
in the room? Yeah.
That's why I was like, hold up, what this? Because they might very well incorporate parts of Martian memory into the movies.
They already did. In
Oh,
Martian
did?
memory, that's where the Berserker bodies were invented on Mars.
Oh, okay.
But
I
it
didn't know
was
that.
like a
I've not
lost
read that game.
tech, so that's why General, however you pronounce his name, General P, collected pieces of the Berserker body from when Alita got injured on Earth to make the copies.
Oh shit. A theory
So you think maybe
might
Dusty
happen.
Nova's going to get like the blood from Vector's office or something?
Well, I thought maybe. I mean, I don't know how they would go about doing it, but I figured instead of Zapan getting a hold of her body, maybe he gets a hold of one via Nova somehow. I don't know. Because I noticed he has some of the
they're
same
going to
tech
pull a
that.
big gotcha with Dusty Nova. I'm sure of it.
Because
It's
the
going to
thing
be
is,
like,
he
hey, you
has.
thought I was up, you thought I was way out of reach. Guess
Right.
what? I'm down here.
And there's no
I'm
way he
missing
doesn't
you.
have some of that technology. He has the same touchpad up there as the one in the ship.
Yeah, that's probably just related to that it all came from Earth back in the
Right.
22nd century. I mean, it's a spin-off, like an offshoot. I mean, it's like, for instance,
They
in the
could,
American Revolution, both sides had similar weapons. Well, it both came from an original source, Great Britain. The tech came from that same mother nation.
They could incorporate Martian memory by having that element where Nova, like I said, reverse engineered or cloned the Berserker cells, because obviously more than one Berserker
Well, no,
soldier.
it was the guy on Mars. And the fact is...
No, I'm talking about for the movie. Like, they could
Oh.
introduce that, because when they went to attack Zalem, obviously there was more than one Berserker body, and
They still lost the war.
Yeah. And obviously he took what he needed from Alita and then chucked her in the dump.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, that's how she got to the scrapyard.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I'm really
And,
curious as to how that went down. I'm guessing they were captured, probably.
There was somebody, I think, I'm trying to remember who it was on YouTube, that suggested that maybe like they got betrayed by Erica or something in the past.
Ooh.
Like maybe Erica or someone on Mars sold them out. So that's why Zalem didn't lose. I'm talking about the film.
Right. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I also kind of wonder if maybe there's just other like Alita clones out there, like what are they called? The Toon clones.
The AR series?
I know, yes, the AR series. I know that it's been observed already that in the scene in the movie where Gelda's training her and you see the other, I guess, Berserkers floating around training too. This is actually a couple months ago. I pointed this out. I think it was Flatty, and I also said something about it. Was that they looked almost exactly like Alita.
Yeah, they did.
So I don't know. Maybe that was just to make it look like there were more than one. Just maybe it was a different person. Just they wanted to make it look like there were more people.
Well, they did. We know for sure they made at least 12 Alitas, because Elf and Swerve, they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were with Chaos. I mean, not Chaos, Nova. They were.
I mean, those two might even
so
very well be those two.
It could be. Plus, we know Zex. We know he's AR6. So I mean, granted, he doesn't look like Alita, but he's definitely cut from the same cloth.
I have a strong feeling he will definitely be there by the end of the series. They'll put him in there somehow.
I think so too. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, well, I won't go down that road. But with the climate of today, I think that I think they'd probably be able to pull that off.
Well, I hope they don't do
Why?
any. I hope they don't do any woke stuff.
Me neither. I'm just saying that. I mean, you're talking transhumanism here, so
Yeah,
I'm sure that they'll find a way to get him in there and make it seem organic. If that,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know if that makes much sense, but
yeah.
No, it does, and that's what I sort of like about the movie. They did be inclusive in that context, but they didn't sacrifice any.
they didn't spit it in your face.
Yeah, and they didn't sacrifice any of the story in doing so.
Yeah, it worked out
Sorry.
quite well.
Okay. Any last thoughts about Chaos?
No.
If I can guess who's coming next, I want to get to the next person.
You got friend zone pretty hard. That's all I can say.
Here's my favorite right here. I wonder why the creek likes him.
I can't help but to think of Den when I see that middle picture.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Where is Dan? Exactly. Yeah, I think. Remember, Dan had that little poll he put out not too long before he kind of disappeared. You know, about who is the perfect guy for Alita. It was listed 4 of them, and Figure 4 was one. I picked Figure 4. He was delighted. We talked about it for about 10 minutes on one of his streams once.
Okay.
Yeah, what I love about this one is that is the fact that, you know, they actually fight each other, and Alita just kicks his butt. Boy, I mean, just destroys him. You know, and he's a big old hulking guy. You know.
Consider it as a ceremony as a husband and wife.
Yeah, well, well, you know, they did have a relationship. You know, I mean, before she went off to, you know, do what she had to do. I guess it was at the end of the 2nd volume. I can't remember now. Or it might have been the 3rd. I don't remember.
It's the 3rd.
Yeah, the 3rd. Yeah. And I remember as she was leaving, she said, "Don't cheat on me."
I remember. I forgot to use that part for Kaios. So that whole wedding dress part was funny, and I also made a meme, funny meme of Alita when it's like Kaios proposing Alita, then Figure 4 is saying, "Hey Alita, I'm the one you chose," and then Alita is saying, "Please, one man at a time."
Yeah. But with Figure 4, though, I think what got Alita about him is that the fact that they had that fight, you know, he just kept coming. You know, he just wouldn't give up. You know? And I think that kind of endeared himself to her, you know, because there's just no quit, you know, and even though she was beating the living crap out of him, he just kept coming. You know?
Well, she may have put him into the ground physically, but he kind of put her in her place too. Whenever she was beating on old, what's his name? I cannot think of his name, but you know who I'm talking about. The guy that rats him out.
Yeah, and he said
the guy that's head is literally a screw.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't think of.
Well, he also told her, you know, he didn't care much for anybody who likes war, and that includes girls, you know, or something like that. Yeah, he didn't like that at all. You know,
he said something along the lines of, "I love a good battle as much as 4 squares a day, but I hate warfare," or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I'm really glad they put that in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was great.
She's kind of sitting there like, you know.
Well, you know, we talked about that on Den's stream. I think we might have been there. You know, how one of the things that Alita liked about him is the fact that he challenged her. You know, he wasn't kind of like, you know, bowing to every whim, you know, that she had. You know, she was, he was like, no way, you know, I mean, you know, knowing that full well that she could whip his butt anytime she wanted to, you know, but he still stood up to her. I think that endeared him to her, you know. And of course, he's what he killed 38 cyborgs or something like that, wasn't it?
Well, don't forget that, in actual battle, Alita could, you know, she beat Chaos, she beat figure 4, she'd certainly like rip Hugo's arm off and beat him with the wet end. But
Shit.
Yeah.
but like Odd John alluded to, she figure challenged Alita in more than one ways, and
Yeah.
that's what, like you said, endeared him to her. Because it's like, I can kick his ass in a fight. Why can't I beat him in every other aspect?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, I
They
don't know.
put her in her place, and rightfully so. I'll be completely honest. I kind of, at least for a little while, had a hard time kind of relating with her after Motorball.
Yeah.
Just a while.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. You need that. If that doesn't happen, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, she was hard to like. I think in that, and after, you're right. I guess after Motorball, she was kind of, she was kind of bloodthirsty in some ways.
She, a lot of people don't like admitting this, but she likes killing people. There's no putting it any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, now that doesn't mean she's going to go out and just start slaughtering whoever, but usually if someone gets in her way, she's going to deal with them, and there's no mercy shown. At least not that I've seen.
Except for Figure. I mean,
right.
He kind of, I like what you said. He kind of put her in her place, and I think that's one thing I liked about him. So
she didn't know how to respond to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And honestly, she's been caught in such a, I don't know if reckless is the word to use, but such a vicious cycle for so long. For what, 10 years? Being
at least
the MIB's assassin, pretty much. That
at least
she probably, much of whatever morals she had at that point are kind of fading.
Well, there was one point in the Last Order where she had gone up. She was in Zalem or something, and they mentioned something that it had been 14 years since she'd been down on Earth or whatever it was. So you kind of wonder how old she was. She's probably in her mid-30s.
I was about to say the same thing. At least, as far as mentally, at least, we know she's been around a long time. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, physically she was in her mid-30s. Actually, chronologically, she was 300 and something. So, exactly.
Well, in the manga, it was 200, but it's okay.
Still.
Yeah.
That's right. The
timeline
with Last Order.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's the last before Last Order. It all ended in ES 295, but now it's 290 actually, 390 ES 390 Era Sputnik 390, but now Era Sputnik 390 is the time at Mars Chronicle. Basically, the Tower to Zalem got built in like only 1 year somehow.
Damn.
Order.
Yeah, what's 390 plus 1957? What is that? I'd have to.
That's
couldn't tell you. I suck at math.
It's the 25th century, so the film is in the 2600s. The manga is 2500s.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a disparity there, but I can live with it. So
I think I really liked Last Order up until the vampire stuff started, and then I never looked back, honestly. I have all of them right here, and I've not just, I don't know. I know the majority of the really big stuff that happens.
I really enjoyed this fight that they had because of the Figure. I remember reading he was thinking something like, God, she's fast. It's like he started fighting her. It's like, oh crap, I did more. I'm way over my head.
I think my two favorite panels of these two is probably the one where the fish are falling down on them from the tornado.
Yeah.
And the one where he's pretending to give her some food and she's like, and he's like, I love that shit. It's so funny.
I like that one where she picks up that butterfly, and figures out what the hell was that? That's one of my favorite panels.
Yeah. And because of that, all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
It's amazing how such a little butterfly can basically spark an entire fight.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that on the stream last week about how, Angela, you probably remember this, about how that was one of Kashiro's, one of his phobias, was that one particular butterfly. So he wrote that in as Alita's phobia.
Hmm.
Yeah, here's this killing machine cyborg, that's afraid of a butterfly.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Real ironic.
Say again, Raul?
You're in the same world. Sorry.
Oh no, nothing.
You're in the same world where people become werewolves by using drugs.
Yeah,
Right. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
yeah, I
Wasn't
did.
that in the very first volume?
McGill.
Yeah, that's right.
McGill becomes a werewolf by giving him the lycanthropazine. That drug.
And there's also that weird creature thing that she kicked its head into a wall at the very beginning of the story. The
mutant
Nisyana
woman.
creature. Yeah.
We don't know her name.
I know. I'm calling her that
because
because that's.
cyborg girl in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Later.
I'm just saying that's why I'm referring to her as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raul, I'm gonna mute you. Can you turn your mic down because we're getting a lot of background noise.
Yeah, no.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, if you want to talk, just unmute your mic. It's cool. We're cool with it. Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, this is the Creek's favorite guy right here. This is
He's all the masculinity minus the toxicity. If we're
Yes.
going to use today's terminology.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait till the critics get a hold of Figure 4 and they start bitching about toxic masculinity.
Oh God.
It's gonna be so.
Oh, I hope that shit doesn't even come up. But
Oh, you know it will. If he's in there, you know it will.
Yeah, but
if they want to say that, then just bring in Zex, and he's being
True.
likes being a guy now.
yeah.
True. That's very true.
Well, I think you guys know my political leanings, but I'll tell you, I don't want that in a movie. I certainly don't. Bull crap. So anyway, I think Jason Momoa would portray a good figure.
Yes. I don't
Me
know
too.
why folk want Keanu in there. Look.
That's
he can.
Ben. That's not me.
I've seen quite a few others think the same thing, and that's fine. I just don't. Forget the age thing. That's not even all of it. It's just I don't see him as Figure in any way at all.
He's not big like Figure. Now to Den's credit, he did say that, and if you've seen, I guess in the latest movie, I guess that Keanu's in, he's buff, man. I mean, he's lifting weights or whatever he's doing. I mean, his guns are huge, are big at least. They're not, I wouldn't call them huge, but they're big. But, but seriously, Jason Momoa, holy crap.
I think Jason, he not only kind of looks like him,
Yeah.
but he's already done if I remember correctly, didn't Figure live in a fishing village?
Yes.
Yeah, he's.
Yes.
I mean,
Aquaman.
is it kind of not fitting to have Aquaman be the same dude?
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it would be cool, Now, we did have a discussion of whether Figure was really like a South Pacific kind of a islander type of guy. I tend to think he's more of a Native American type guy. And the reason why I say that is there were cultures on the West Coast that were, American Indians that were, fishing. They had a fishing culture, and
tribes.
that's what I think, But anyway, we had that little discussion, and I don't guess either one of us gave in. But
It's funny you say that because I actually thought that I'm on the, on the Pacific Islander, like you said, or whoever said that. But I also kind of wondered if, and this is a little off topic, but that Joshigan was Native American. I don't know if I'm the only one that kind of wonders that, but kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I never thought of that.
I know he's dark skinned.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him a little bit later, but yeah, you're right. He is dark skinned, and God, that picture
Got that white hair.
Yeah, R's manga shot of him. God Almighty, he's a beast.
Yeah, people weren't too thrilled with Dry being picked for him. I think he could pull it off, though. Maybe not the look, but
yeah. Oh, I think Keanu could. I think he could do it. There's no doubt about that. But I just think Jason Momoa would be a better fit. That's just my opinion.
It's
For
got
a
that goofy personality too.
Oh yeah, exactly. That'd be a perfect fit, And I used to say for a long period of time that I thought The Rock, Dwayne Johnson would be a good figure four.
I used to think
I've kind of backed away from that.
Mhm.
I mean, he could probably do it, but I don't know if he would be even as good as Keanu would be. So anyway,
with fan casts, while I'm always a proponent of like age or looks not being the deciding factor, it still is a contributing factor, because like the more like closer to the height, age, weight, that sort of thing that you can get
Yeah.
within an actor, the more easier or less work that they'd have to do, so to speak, to
Yeah.
portray that actor.
yeah, on the CGI,
Like there's nothing stopping Keanu from buffing up,
I
and
don't
he's
know. They
certainly
already
got.
did a swap. They already swapped heights for Dusty Nova because Edward Norton is like, what is it, 6'1" or something?
Yeah, he's a tall
Dusty
dude.
Nova's supposed to be a short person.
yeah, that's right.
Never really thought about that. That's true.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
Well, Rose is like what, 5'6" or like.
No,
5'4",
she's
5'3".
shorter than that. She's like 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah,
She's little.
maybe
She's
5'3".
still considerably taller than what Alita should be, nonetheless.
Not
Oh, yeah.
too much.
Alita's like, what,
she's
4'11"?
4'11".
Yeah.
Yeah. She's tiny. Tiny but mighty. As I
Oh
always say.
God. Yeah, like I say, she whipped Figure's butt,
Mhm.
and in a very convincing manner.
It's funny because I came
in that
across.
panel,
It's possible.
like her head is like, yes, she's a little bit bent down,
Well,
but
Alita has a big
Figure's-
head in the manga.
Yeah,
but like even Figure 4 is in a somewhat low stance as well. So if
Yeah.
they were to both stand up straight, she'd still probably only reach her shoulders.
yeah,
They could do it with the right angles. I mean, they made it look like Tom Hardy and Christian Bale were about the same height, even though Bale is taller than Hardy. And
Oh,
Dark Knight
yeah.
Rises.
By a lot. Yeah, Hardy, they always make him look huge, but he's actually a small
He's
dude.
short. He's short but buff, basically.
Mhm.
Didn't Alita stomp Figure 4 in the mud? Didn't she even do that? I mean, she
I think.
she pretty much whipped his butt pretty good, I think.
Well, actually, there's another fan cast that could probably pull it off. Tom Hardy could have the chops for Figure 4 as well.
Yeah, I think he could.
I mean, he's already there.
Yeah.
And he can
I
sort
loved
of
him in Venom. Man, he was great in Venom.
and his Eddie Brock is sort of, a little bit on the goofy side as well, or can
Sure.
be in the movie. So,
Yeah,
I mean, so he can portray that sort of part of Figure's personality.
Yeah, I did a meme on on Eddie Brock on Venom. That was, I just love. I really like that movie, But yeah, but to your point, John, I hope they don't screw this up, with some political crap. I just hope they don't do it. But
At this point, I just hope it happens.
no, I don't want it to happen. No.
No. Okay, that came out wrong. Well, I mean, I just hope it happens in the sense that the movies happen. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
Okay.
Oops.
Yeah, you're right. So
Yeah, no woke. Nothing.
yeah,
I think we'll probably end up getting something that's episodic. Starting to get that gut.
Yeah, I mean the numbers seem to be going that way. You see how well the Battle Angels doing on Disney Plus in Canada, and
Sorry, you mean Netflix? Yeah,
I meant Netflix. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not Disney Plus. Yeah, Netflix. Yeah,
Netflix knows what's good for them. Well,
I
partially.
looked it up on Netflix. I have Netflix in the U.S. and she's not on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, she is on Hulu. She's on that. I guess Disney owns Hulu. So, we lost. Oh, yeah.
We need to petition Netflix to put her in every territory, or at least at least in the U.S. Come on, man. That's where it's needed the most, is here.
Yeah. I think a sequel would do better this time than it did the first.
Oh, of course it would. I mean, everyone's like, that's the gamble, and I don't want to divert from your stream too much, but that's the gamble with stuff like this. Is generally speaking, and I know this is probably not going to be the current world situations kind of goof things up, but the general consensus is the sequels don't make as much as the first go around. But this is not exactly one of those situations, I don't think. And even now, I don't think it is because, I mean, okay, if everything does go to streaming, if I'm being honest, I think Alita, whether it be movie format or show format, I think would do far better.
Yeah, I
as
think
a show on. Now, I'd really rather see it on the big screen, but by the time it comes out, I'll probably have a much bigger screen anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've watched Alita Battle Angel on my Oculus. Man, God Almighty, it's like
might as well be in the theater.
Exactly. I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's just blows me over. You know, I mean. Anyway, this is the Creek's favorite right here, figure 4. This is the guy right here. Maybe because he's got humongous muscles, and it kind of reminds me of maybe he's a power lifter. You know, I love him,
Dude's arm about the size of her whole body. I mean, look at that frame.
Is that what you looked like 300 years ago, there, Creaky?
Maybe. Yeah, I got friends in North Carolina that tell me that I actually ate dinosaur eggs. So anyway, it's cool, you know. Okay, good old figure. One thing I never noticed about him until I read the manga, is that you see he's got that big ponytail, doesn't he, on the back?
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll have that, but that's another thing Jason Momoa can pull off.
Yeah, seen it in Game of Thrones. Been there, done that.
That's right.
And that ponytail is way longer.
That's right.
When you can wipe your ass with your hair, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. Also, he was good in the Snyder cut, of Justice League. Jason Momoa is real good in that. I don't think they did enough with him in the theatrical version, in the Josh Whedon version. But he had a better part, I think, in the Snyder cut. And of course, certainly Cyborg had a lot more in the Snyder cut. But anyway,
still need to finish it.
Oh yeah, you got to see it, John. You got to see it. So it's really good. Not as good as Alita. It didn't make it the first place for me, So, we lost Chaos. So anyway.
Where the hell is Maxie?
Yeah.
Everyone's disappearing. The hell?
Yeah, I haven't seen Maxie. I've sent him a DM, and he must be busy or something. So
I sent one to him as well. I think both in Twitter and Discord.
Kiddo.
Yeah.
Isn't it like Saturday where he is right now?
Yeah, Saturday.
We're in the future.
Yeah, they're in the future there.
Of course you are.
Now here's Cran's favorite. Cran and Rotten. This is their favorite. Zex. Now, obviously, Alita has no romantic inclinations toward this guy at all.
No.
As a matter of fact, Zex wants to fight her. He wanted to fight her, after the Zot. He said, you and I are going to have it out. And she said, okay. I think it had been a mistake on his part, but anyway, but the reason why I've got him in there is because he is, at least in the Zot, he is an ally. He's a Space Angels teammate and that kind of thing, and so they do cooperate with each other in that regard. So they do have somewhat of a positive relationship. And I think with him, I don't think he wants to fight Alita because he dislikes her. I think he just wants to fight the best, And
I think he wanted to be the only Alita,
AR,
something like that. I can't remember his original motivations, but he wanted to kill her.
There can be only one.
Yeah, that's right. Now he's got that Fizzoroy body, which I don't think is near as good as the Imaginos body. So I think he would. I think he would probably not. He wouldn't do well. I don't think. But now he did fight a tough opponent in Zot. That Zeka. He was pretty tough. So.
Tentacle head dude.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Kind of reminds you of Davy Jones a
A little bit.
A
it's-
cybernetic Kit Fister.
I was about to say Davy Jones cyborg.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Anyway.
more of a sorry, tongue tied. I was going to say more of a Kit Fisto cyborg, Jedi Master character.
You know, this is
Star Wars.
we've kind of moved on to Zach's, but I wanted to point out one more thing about Figure that I wanted to say earlier. That
Okay,
this is
well, I'll go
a
back
weird
to
little observation I've made.
Figure.
Does he not remind you at all of a certain Robert Rodriguez character, at least in look?
Who, Figure?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Maxie.
Every time I see this guy, I imagine Shark Boy from Shark Boy.
Oh God.
I don't. If he had gotten buff and shit, that's what I imagine. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Something's been stuck in my head for the longest time. I do not
didn't
know why.
mind him in the only other movie besides Twilight that I saw him in. I didn't mind him, but like it's like what I told you how I felt about Swan Song. It's not something I hate, but it's not something I love either.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying he should play him. I'm just saying that for some reason his image, especially the middle one, always kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Boy and Alita girl.
Let me welcome Maxie.
Yeah.
Welcome Max Tack Dry.
Harold.
Max.
So we're talking Shark Boy and Alita girl, are we?
You can say that.
We started to move on to Zex, but we wanted to come back to Figure. Of course, this is Creek's favorite right here, Figure. So, any thoughts about him, Maxie? About in terms of well, let me set up the whole stream here. Is we're talking about the people or the guys that have a kind of a positive kind of relationship or even somewhat positive relationship with Alita, and obviously Figure does. And we've talked about certainly Doc Ito, Chaos. Who else was it? Let me just go back a couple here. Yeah, Hugo, obviously. How could I have missed Hugo? But
I think it's easy to miss Hugo.
yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Well, Alita certainly misses him. Oh, too soon. Get it? He misses.
Yeah,
we get
it. Yeah.
You know what also did miss him? The Grind Cutters.
Yeah, they missed him.
Or fuck, I messed that up. You know what I meant? The
Yeah.
The two blades.
Yeah.
Smithers, release the saw.
Yeah. So anyway, Maxie, what's your thought about Figure being Alita's, well, in this case, love interest?
He's the yin to her yang. He basically woke her up and said, life is worth living. You don't have to just give up and be, make it all white and just fight and not care what's going on. You're a powerful force, and you should be a powerful force for good in the world. And get your shit together, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were just talking about that, about how Figure put her in her place. Now, he didn't whip her physically, obviously. I mean, she pretty much stomped him in the mud, but he did. He did. She did. It's like John was saying a while ago. Alita didn't know how to respond to this guy. I mean, she was here. He's getting his butt kicked for one thing. And he keeps coming for more, and then he puts her in her place. But I don't like anybody that loves war. He loves to fight. He loves warfare, but he doesn't like people and that includes girls or whatever. I can't remember the exact line. So.
That's a reasonably close paraphrase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the Creek's favorite right here.
Well, the thing is, I think that he was the yin to her yang. She saw in him a lot of herself, and she saw in him the part of herself that could be better, and he basically raised her up from a low point.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, because Alita, we were just talking about that too, is up throughout a lot of the Last Order. She's a hard person until she meets Finn. She's kind of a hard person to like,
Very.
I think.
Full of anger, rage, PTSD, and everything in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Regret being probably one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually verbalized or not, but you can see it.
Yeah. So welcome back,
She keeps-
Chaos.
Hey, I mean, she keeps talking about Hugo all the way into the beginning of Last Order too.
Yeah.
She's sitting up there on that windowsill, and she's like, "I once knew a boy who longed for this view."
Yeah.
That panel bothers me every time I look at it. It's like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah, there was also the hallucination when AR2 was just beating her into the ground.
I can't remember.
Like, she
Oh
actually
yeah,
saw like the hallucination of Hugo, and it's like, oh, and the flower.
Yeah, yeah.
flower. Oh, the one that was planted whenever Zapan was kicking her ass. I think. Wait.
Yeah, which is interesting because in the novel, supposedly Koyomi planted flowers. So I don't know. In the novelization of the film, Koyomi was planting flowers in the garden at one point in the Iron City novel.
That's really interesting.
But
Damn.
like as I mentioned before, it's funny that Koyomi already has a motivation to join Barjack since she's with Hugo's gang in the film.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they have it set up so perfectly, don't they?
Man, somebody's eating some good cereal.
This is what yeah. This is what I love about the movie because they could write something completely abstract from the manga and still somehow make like a direct line or like a direct nod.
They can
to the
still
source material.
respect it.
Oh, the intros from Japan in the movie when they're walking to the bar are pretty funny. Like, he talked about, like, oh, that's McTeague. He has a problem with collecting his bounties because his dogs eat too much of them. I really laughed in the theater when I saw that.
Yeah.
His dogs eat too much.
And like my favorite example is like Makaku is Grishka and Grishka is Makaku. It's like
yeah, but Gariska's kind of lame. He's just a motor baller who supposedly got killed and they thought he was dead. That's not a genetic abomination like
Yeah, they kind of.
That's what I'm saying. They can write something in the movie that's completely different from the manga, and yet, and name it completely differently. But they can still, like the like similarities, the parallels. That's the word I'm looking for. The parallels are so uncanny that
right.
you can't help but not make them, I guess.
I just hope that in the future that it's not just nods for the sake of being nods, but they actually do something with those characters. Because Grishka, I mean, honestly, I had forgotten that he was even in the movie up until like that last part, and I was like, oh, that's right, you're still here.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you just kill this guy already? And I don't know. I always found it. I think they wasted potential on him big time.
Well, he has a pretty interesting backstory, doesn't he? I mean,
well, it's not even just that. It's more of how she interacts with him in his last moments of that fight. Grant, I don't know how they would film something like that, but I mean, still, I found him, and the way he fought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the novelization,
you have to really cram so
right.
much.
I know. And maybe it sounds like a nitpick. It's just I still think they could have done. Maybe.
It's still a valid nitpick.
Or give him like better lines at the very least. Jesus.
Yeah.
Lovely.
If they were going to put
they had so many people to give more.
Right.
Like they could have expanded more on Churn. They could have expanded more on Vector. They could have expanded more on not specifically Koyomi or Tanji, but their crew. They could have Hugo. I think
they did it pretty good job for overall.
I think Sharon had a reasonable backstory within Ido's backstory. I think the ones that really needed 10 more minutes.
I think they could get away with that.
10 more minutes with some more backstory on Grishka and Hugo's backstory, which was really it was noticeable that it was missing.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if you read the novelization and the prequel novel, it's all fine, but not everybody will
Right.
do that. So
Yeah.
they needed a reference. They needed a point of reference.
That's why I think it'd be very interesting to see where they go. Because if they go forward, there's just going to be more characters to introduce and more to cram in. That's why I'm actually leaning more towards the show angle. I hate saying that because I want to see this in the big screen, but I don't know. I think to really do it justice, I think a very higher quality version or
So
the show might do
you're
it better.
saying they could do cover it better with 8
I
episodes?
think that, yeah. And honestly, I don't see why they couldn't look good. I mean, have you seen Altered Carbon? I mean, Jesus. I mean, Grant, you don't have TR cyborgs walking around. I don't remember them being any.
Yeah.
But they could make it still, because I know a lot of people are worried about how it would look visually. I think it would look fine. As long as, they keep her, I don't want to make it all about visuals and, graphics and stuff, but that is definitely a part of that movie. There's no denying that.
I never saw Altered Carbon, so.
You better, because
It's pretty good.
Laters
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
resume.
Yep. Lydia Rodriguez wrote.
I might have
wrote that
to
one.
rent that out on iTunes just to watch it, because I've already seen Shutter Island, another one of her works as well.
Yeah, Altered Carbon. I've not actually finished it. I found it pretty hard to follow, but not because it's not bad or anything. It's just there's a lot thrown at you, especially in the beginning.
Gee, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, but I think there's far more thrown at you though, and I can follow Alita pretty easily. Altered Carbon was like, whoa, holy shit, where am I right now? Especially when people are jumping from bodies, clones to clones, and bodies to bodies. It's like, okay, rewind a bit here. But I do recommend it. I'm just saying that I think that Alita as a, to do the story complete justice and not have to worry about cramming things in, I think that might not be a bad way to go. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe get both. Who knows?
What was I going to say? Before we get back to sex, Zex?
Zex.
X.
German for 6. Zex.
Yeah, I always pronounce it as a Z. Or is it meant to be?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think Angelus has got Zex on the brain.
Yeah.
Zex on wheels.
Zex.
Bruh.
Oh,
He
God.
never played motorball though. That's a shame.
Yeah,
It
that's
could have been Zex on wheels.
yeah.
Questions for tomorrow. Add in. What is there anything that you can tell us about the script that you did have to cut to A, cut it due to time, and B, cut it due to rating?
Yeah.
I think that was a question. Was that yours, or was that just?
I had a question similar to that. It was, what scenes got left out in the PG-13 version that were in the R version? I think something like that is what I had.
Yeah, I don't know that she did the cutting. I think that was Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of I couldn't even think of what to ask, honestly. There were so many other good questions people were throwing. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit back and listen.
What's funny about the movie, which I noticed, is the only person that says any kind of, I wouldn't call them curse words, but any kind of words like that is Alita. There was the F your mercy moment, and then there was don't piss me off. She's the only one that's used any language like that, which I just love that.
That's true. I hadn't even thought of that.
I love that about her.
That's nice. Yeah, I did not expect the F-bomb in that moment. I was just like, what?
Oh, yeah.
It's such a sweet, but fierce little character just to drop this out of nowhere.
She didn't look sweet when she was fighting him.
Oh, hell no. You know what I mean, though. I mean, you just go from the beginning of the movie just being this wide-eyed, borderline innocent, just being like, fuck you, it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's like having that friend who never cusses, and then when they do, it's like, oh my God, what'd you say? It's just,
was that you? Was that really you?
I think what took people by surprise is that they were already thinking it, but for them to hear it
yeah,
being said on the movie, and it's like, what did my thoughts just transfer onto the screen or something, because that's exactly what I was.
Well,
That's what it felt like anyway.
It took me totally off guard the first time I ever saw it.
Those were the best lines that Grishka ever dropped in that entire movie. Was talking about, I'll turn you into a living pendant to adorn my chest. Like,
Yeah.
you piece of shit.
And that is straight out of the manga. That is a straight
It
manga
is. It
Yeah.
is.
But she never said "fuck your mercy" to
No,
him.
she didn't. I
No.
mean,
That's
there's not
right.
that she hasn't cussed before. I mean, in the manga, she'll call people assholes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I don't think she ever uses an F-bomb, though. But I don't care. I loved it.
I love
Looking-
her. I fell in love with her. Yeah, I did.
We all
Looking
did.
back, now that I think about it, what fucking hell? What
Turn it into me,
Grishka?
Angelus.
No, no.
God.
Are you snorting
Watch out.
Araldite again, Angelus?
Well, I was eating a bowl of pasta for breakfast. There's my carbs of the morning.
Yeah.
What Gurushka lacked in screen time, he made up in quality screen time, because that second fight was fairly lengthy.
Yeah.
It was fairly meaty in terms of story, at least between Alita and Gruishka. That it sort of made up for the lack of backstory of Grishka individually, at least for me anyway. Because now that I more and more think about it, like, that fight was so.
I want to know what he knew about her
Content
that she
rich.
didn't. That's
Well,
what I
he
wanna know.
said at Nova. I bet Nova has probably educated him a little bit, don't you think?
Mhm. That's why I think he put her down there on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing God up there, which is kind of the idea. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see where all this goes, isn't it?
Yeah. So, any more about Creek's favorite figure four?
No.
Back to Zach.
Who's gonna play him in the sequel?
I think the Creek's going to play him. No, I'm just kidding.
You can play McTeague.
Yeah, I probably could. Hey, no, I probably could. I love dogs. It would work.
But yes, like we always do, even though I sort of dropped the name already, we've always got to mention Cran in our stream, and
You bet.
here we go.
This is Cran's boyfriend right here.
Actually,
Other than Rido, I mean. You guys keep talking. I got to let my dog in.
Who let the dogs in?
next.
I'm sorry.
I think it was Creaky.
Oh, I can.
You get the grand jam.
Yes. You just say we just got to Cran jam it?
No. No. So we need to get the cran jam in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried to entice Cran to come on because I told her we were going to talk about her favorite. But
Her other half.
I think she's doing some playing a game or something. They got a thing going.
Oh, she's
She's
rating
working on the-
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I think so.
That, or she's working on a plushies and or other commissions.
Yeah, possibly. But she did. I sent her when I sent her a DM. She responded with that. Was she had a game going? Her and Rido were playing or something. So
Actually, I want to send that to her.
so anyway, Zex. I think he would probably. And like for instance, if you were to put Figure 4 up against Zex, Figure 4 wouldn't last 10 seconds. I don't think, but and certainly there is no romantic or friendship type thing going between Zex and Alita. But
Nope.
since he was on the Zot, on the Space Angels team, him and Zazie and Alita are on the team. That is somewhat positive. So anyway, and he did cooperate and stuff like that. So
They definitely got a healthy rivalry, albeit one-sided,
Hmm.
yeah, I think so. I think
in
people,
favor of a leader, of course. But yeah.
She's kind of like, what's this guy's problem?
yeah, exactly. Well, he wants to be the only one, so that's
I must be the only Alita,
yeah, exactly.
even though he doesn't call himself Alita.
Now, how does
No, he needs to be the only Gary.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Why
holy shit?
he had to do that?
Yeah.
Well, he
Damn
is
it.
the only Gary.
Well, yeah, I don't mind him being Gary. So, but anyway,
Oh yeah. Oh
Jesus!
yeah, exactly.
Dangerous.
He
Pretty
opened that box, and that box just, everything came
Slap
out
me
of
in
it.
the face.
Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, what is some of this guy's good qualities? I'm not sure I know any.
He's
got scary
tenacious.
teeth.
He's got attitude and the skill to back it up.
Yes.
I mean, yes, a leader can kick his ass, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have the skill to back up what he says. It's just
yeah.
when he tries to back it up against the leader, she then throws it back at him. But
Well, he gave Zeka all he wanted, didn't he?
Didn't Zeka punch him to the moon, though?
I don't know.
Someone got punched into the moon. I
I
can't
don't know.
remember.
Let's hear from an expert, Maxie.
Oh, Zeka got punched into the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, leave it.
I thought it was Zex.
And I think Toji drug Zeka off with him too, didn't he?
Actually, now that I think about it, I think that did happen because, like, I thought, like he had the epiphany, or he became his master, or some shit like that. It's like, hey, Zeka, behave. You're coming with me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But Zeka almost kills Zex, and Zex can and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. Is Zex actually considers, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to go ahead and fade off, and then all of a sudden he's got this surge in him. No, I'm not going to give up. And he comes back, doesn't he? Wasn't he underwater? Wasn't he, or something like that?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Man, what happened with Yukito? He's got Zex, Zazzy. What was the other one that was a Z or whatever? He's got a lot of Z's in here.
Yeah, he does.
Got a lot of
Zeka, Zazzy, Zex.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, Zex is not actually a Z. I mean,
I know.
Zolf.
I know. Oh my God! Holy shit! There really are a lot of them.
Yeah, but I think that Fizzoroy body is not going to be any challenge for that Imaginos 2 body. That's for sure. So it's not even going to be close. So, but you're right, Angelus. I think he would definitely back up. He can put his money where his mouth is for sure. Any thoughts about him too, Maxie? About Zex?
Got some big ass teeth.
He certainly. I mean, he's a copy of Alita, so
Yeah.
but a transgendered one, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's great that Yukito had a representative character within the manga, and also that everybody just accepts him, just like, yeah, okay, you are who you say you are. There's no
And
argument.
not only that,
Now, how did this
that's
happen? Where?
representation, like,
Oh, go ahead.
30 years ago as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah,
But how did?
No, this was early 2000s. No,
that's true.
yeah, it is early 2000s. Yeah.
Oh, that's like 20 years ago, but still, that's a long fucking time.
Didn't Last Order end? I think in 2014.
Well, it's still well, no, I was thinking of Mars Chronicle. Yeah, that's still going on, Mars Chronicle.
Oh, yeah.
Seven's
We're just
coming out
talking
next
about
month, I guess.
when Zex was introduced.
I mean, Max is right, but I was just wondering.
Now, I don't remember how they transgendered him. If he's a copy of Alita, he's a guy. So how did that happen?
Obviously, it's a cyborg thing. I mean, you look at the Berserker body; it translated to the wearer's ideal of themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
So if Zex, the copy of Alita, sees himself as a him, then that's what he's going to manifest.
Okay. Do you think that Visceroid body has got the same quality though? I mean,
It may do, or maybe it has to be, the guy who was doing the servicing on it. Maybe he says, "What do you want to look like?" And
Yeah.
Zex says, "A guy thinks," and that's the end of it.
oh, okay.
Kind of like how Umba made Alita look like a woman, even though at that point she was kind of like, why?
Yeah. Well, those teeth don't look anything like Alita's.
No.
And I've got to say that there's got to be some sort of psychological need in these AR units to differentiate themselves from the original. Well, I mean, AR2 wanted to be Alita, so AR2 was like, if I kill AR1, can I be the real one? And they're like, yeah, sure. Which is, a load of shit. But it's a cry for individuality. They don't want to be copies. And I think that, they were dealing with it in different ways. So AR2 was trying to destroy the original to become the original. And Zex was, well, I'm going to be, I feel more male, so I'm going to be a male version of Alita. So I'm Alito, basically.
Oh my god. Alito.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Still Alito. So this basically, next time you speak to Mario, tell him this is what you would look like if you were El Alito.
Yeah.
Training cyborg.
Oh, yeah.
Android, actually, but still.
Jono.
And you get those teeth too.
Davo.
Gary.
I already called you Davo. So.
Gary.
Yeah, exactly.
Davo, yeah.
Good mustache, Wario.
Jono, yeah.
Sounds like a type of candy bar.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess old Zex, I guess we can move on from him.
Or bathtub drain.
Just as well as Cranberry isn't here, we wouldn't be moving on.
No, we'd be on him forever because she would profess her love to Zex.
Just as we profess our soul leader.
Hey, now there's Who Man right there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought Cranberry would be the chocolate bar because she's short and sweet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Short.
I am not touching that one.
Isn't she more savory though?
You could say that joke was a little short-sighted.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are going to be in deep kimchi when she receives this.
Do you think she's going to listen to this? She got time?
Maybe not.
Well, I might be knee deep in it, but she'd be like up to her neck.
Oh God! Wow.
Yeah. Angela, if I was you, I'd never come to the States, particularly North Carolina.
If there's any consolation, I just looked over my shoulder to, or rather, I check under my bed for the cranberry monster.
Yeah.
She's like a dentist. She could turn your teeth into Zex teeth.
Yeah. Well, let's move along here and get off of that subject.
Yes.
I hear someone that isn't short.
Can I have a final word about that whole cranberry as a dessert? I get the distinct impression that she'd be shortbread.
Ooh.
She's probably in the chat right now like, fuck you guys.
No, I don't think she is. I think she's playing that game, so you guys are safe. So anyway.
Well, she gave me the finger on Twitter yesterday just because I was feeling left out that I hadn't been given the finger. So, I owe her one back.
Nice.
You were feeling left out. Shit, I was freaking out yesterday. So we can talk about that at the after party. Anyway, Joshagon. Now, obviously, this guy is not, Alita has no romantic interest in this guy either. Just like she doesn't have it for Zex or even Chaos, but it is somewhat positive because, she looks up to him as sort of a role model in some ways, you know, particularly in motorball. And there was, I guess there were a few panels. I guess what was it in the third volume? I can't remember where, or it might have been the second volume where he comes back to her. I don't know if she dreams him or what she does, but he wants to see how much she's learned in 12 years or something like that. So it had to be the third volume or fourth, but you know, and I think she sees him in a positive light, you know. So anyway, thoughts about that, guys?
He's the Adonis amongst cyborgs.
One word, mentor.
Yep. Yeah, particularly in motorball, right?
And there's nothing wrong with having more than one.
Yeah.
Because in a way, Ito was a mentor as well, just from a different angle.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't she have like a photo of him or a big old poster of him in like her locker or something? Or at her house, or not house, but apartment. I can't remember.
I don't recall.
In, I think, Sonic Finger or Holy Knight. Because Holy Knight's got a lot of different stories, so.
It might have been in one of the short stories, because that sounds vaguely familiar.
Like,
But
when I think it's the same part or section where she's up on the rooftop doing jump rope in the gym pants.
At the beginning of Sonic Finger, she wakes up and looks at a poster of Jashigan and says, "Good morning, Jashigan."
Ah, okay, that's what it was.
Okay, yeah.
Photographic
Which
memory.
seems a little bit, you know, obsessive.
Yeah.
There's also the part in Ouroboros where she sees Jashigan again and laments that he died before he could finish teaching her everything that she could learn from him.
Yeah.
And when she first encounters Jashigan in the markets and does the whole, if I don't win this arm wrestle, destroy my heart thing, which, you know, is what they referenced for the "I'll give you my heart" scene. You did not know that?
Oh yeah.
That was what they referenced, but they twisted it around. So rather than it being I have to be Jashigan or I'm gonna die kind of deal, it was I would give my heart to the boy that I love who's you know, tearing up cyborgs and
I didn't know you went that way, Maxie.
You always have to dick around, don't you? Anyway, so the first time she meets Jashigan in face to face in the markets and does the whole arm wrestling thing.
Yeah.
After they part, Jashigan he grabs his arm and his forearm falls off. And Ido and Shamira look at him and he says, I may have damaged her arm, but she destroyed mine.
Yeah.
If we kept arm wrestling for, you know, 3 more seconds, she would have snapped my arm off and won. Which is why I pulled it and called it onto the racetrack. And so he's very impressed with her. And she's walking away from that engagement, putting her heart back in her chest. And she says, I never knew that when I started playing motorball, I could meet such an amazing man.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not so much oh my God, I'm in love with him, because she's still recovering from having her heart destroyed, basically, by the loss of Hugo.
Yeah.
But she's also, like, if she hadn't gone through that whole thing with Hugo and been heartbroken, she probably would have given her heart to Jashigan there on the spot, because she was so impressed with him. So you see, the thing with Hugo has hardened her to falling in love, and she would have fallen in love with Jashigan, except that she was recovering from the previous heartbreak.
Yeah.
So that's how I saw it anyway.
Yeah, they kind of developed a mutual respect for each other, didn't they?
I think he was impressed by her, and she was cautiously smitten by him, but wasn't going to approach it in that fashion, because she'd just been burnt.
Yeah,
and the wounds were still warm.
Yeah. Yeah, in the novelization, she actually goes giddy meeting him. You know, that's
Yes, she does.
That's not
Which
canon.
is a shame. That's actually a scene that I'd like to talk to later about tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I want to ask her about that.
Can't help but hear Alita when we say her name.
Welcome,
Well, I'm
Coops.
not even sure how to pronounce her name.
Lata
I think it's
Calligridis.
Lata.
Lata Calligridis is. I've been practicing it.
Later.
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 Yeah,
Later.
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
How are
my
you
God.
Later.
Yeah.
Later, alligator.
Actually,
Welcome.
because
Welcome, Kunstler 99.
How's it going,
Jeff.
guys?
Jeff.
Good.
Jeffrey. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, doing all right. Just got off of, well, actually, technically still working a little bit, but just hopping on. So, because I can.
Out there in the cargo.
Cool.
I was gonna say getting off. That's what she said.
Oh gosh.
Grunt. By the way, all this kind of random, but just saw this from Charlie yesterday. Apparently, I missed it. Said Alita went up yesterday, which would have been, I think, the 7th, to number 4 movie on Netflix in
Yeah, I
Canada.
saw that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And top 10 in Disney Plus Australia, Portugal, and New Zealand. Damn.
Go, Canada, go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Top 10. Yep. And was in iTunes top 10 in several countries.
So where are you getting all this from?
So Charles Smith put this.
Charlie Smith.
He has a bunch of pictures to go along with it. I'm too far away from the computer to be able to read it, though.
No, fair enough. It's a tweet. Can you whack that one in the show notes for the news, Angelus?
What?
Can you whack that tweet in the show notes for the news, Angelus?
Oh, okay.
He's not even here right now. He's like, cool.
I think there's a tweet that you can. I think
I'm sharing my screen.
Here, I'll drop it right here. I'll drop it in the chat so you can.
You drop it.
I'll drop it in the chat for you, Squire.
Yeah, 6th. Okay.
Drop
Well,
some.
that's currently as well. As of 9th of April.
Yeah.
Which is now because we're from the future, but yeah. The world hasn't ended, so it's all good. You guys are safe.
Yeah.
You obviously will keep the front line.
Well, I thought he said she was 4th.
Oh, she might have been 4th at one stage, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
Wait. So is today the 10th for you guys right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, what the fuck? That's so weird.
It's 11:13 a.m. in the morning.
It's so
Which
weird.
is why we were eating breakfast.
Yeah, we don't want to upstage tomorrow, with the news now, Angela. So
61.
It wouldn't be a bad thing to start off with. Might even bring a smile to Calagrida's face. Who knows?
Well, I think I think the plan is to interview her first, isn't it? And then
Yeah,
Oh,
the news discussion can get a bit long-winded, so
yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't want to chew up the time we could be spending talking to her.
Yeah, it reminds me of that time Demetrius Polito was on. He was really understanding, wasn't he, about that?
Oh, is that the guy that played
the cyborg Jackie?
The guy's head cut off? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the guest says they can hang for the whole thing, then I tend to do the news first, but
right.
It gives them a little bit of context.
Sorry.
Jay, a nice day. You can come on the stream if you want.
He's busy finishing a video that he's been finishing for a few days.
He's been on a roll of videos lately.
Yeah, he has. Boy, I sure love that last one he put out. The one about the technology of the berserker body. Man, that's great. That's really great, Jay.
He got me. I don't usually comment on YouTube videos, but he got me to share some stuff that I also found. I don't know if you saw it or not, but
he reads all these comments.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I thought it was a great video. I really enjoyed it.
I just like hearing the man's voice, as weird as that may sound.
You hear that, Jay? You can come on the stream.
That probably came out weird, but
Have you got a man crush there, John?
Yeah,
nah,
a bro,
nah, come
a
on
bromance.
now. Don't do this. No, it's time to stop.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Doesn't bromance have to be two-way?
Uh,
It's
No,
an infatuation otherwise.
it's the damn accent, Jesus.
I think we hit Josh again hard enough. What about Ed?
Oh man,
Ed cops it from all directions, a poor bastard.
I feel bad for Ed, but at the same time, it's like, man, I ain't gonna say who, but there's another no one who's been on the show, but there's another friend within the elite army of mine who Ed reminds me of quite a bit. Maxie, you might know who I'm talking about, but
Oh yes, yes.
you know what?
This makes me want to break out into song.
Yeah, I like
Shot to the face, and the stranger's to blame. Thought you give a leader a bad name.
Well, here's the thing about Ed, though. He
No.
kind of gives his life for Alita, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know one thing though.
It's hard to
Hey,
get.
Angela, I'd say don't give up your day job, but anyway, moving on.
But I have a question though. Unless it may already be answered in the manga, but I don't remember. What happened to his face? Like, does he only flesh-wise have just eyes and a mouth, or or what's with that?
If you look at the colored image, you know the one where Alita's standing in the front and there's all the characters from the original series behind her, which is many.
Yeah, I love that picture.
But you can see obviously Hugo and Shamira and Jashigan in one corner, but Ed's there too, and that dark color on his head is actually blue, sort of a midnight blue.
What?
Yeah, so he's a TR.
Oh, okay.
So he looks however the hell he wants, but I'm not sure
I
why.
always found him to be like the strangest looking of the characters. Besides,
Just gonna share my screen quickly again.
I
Okay.
thought it was like a Homer Simpson thing going on. It's like
man, I thought the same damn thing. So sorry.
He's right because leader's in 6th place. But I just noticed a -2, which I'm assuming is a
He's
2-spot drop from 4th, which is what I think the -2 represents.
Okay.
Because then you've got the +6, so I'm assuming whatever this is 40 would have gone from 10th to 4th place.
Yeah.
Maybe Cold Pursuit dropped from 5 to 9. Eagle dropped from 7 to 10, that sort of thing. Right
Wait,
along.
Which one's top? What Lies Below is number 1? Are you serious? I saw that shit a few nights ago, and I don't even know why the hell I watched it.
I like 300.
Different tastes. That's like
quite literally. In this, well, maybe not literally.
I say the same thing about. I quite literally say the same thing about Captain Marvel, but not from the not for the reasons that the Twitterati think.
I like 300. It's pretty good. I like that where Leonidas says, give them nothing but when the Persians are attacking them, give them nothing but take from them everything.
I love it when I can't remember Orlando Bloom sorry said something on the lines of "We'll fight in the shade."
No, that wasn't Orlando Bloom. That was
was it not?
No, that was played Magneto, Michael Fassbender.
What?
Yeah.
Like he's in that movie?
Yeah.
I gotta stop sharing.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he's he plays one of the Greek soldiers, one of the 300,
That's interesting.
He cut the well, I don't want to we're getting away from Alita, but that's okay, I guess. But the emissary, that first emissary that comes up, that says our arrows will darken the sky, and he says shade, and then he tries to whip him, and then he jumps up in the air and then slices his arm off. So, and he says my arm, the guy says my arm, he says it's not yours anymore. So
love that.
Yeah, that's Michael Fassbender.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, now that I'm just sort of like catching up on chat while you were chatting,
Okay.
Jaya makes a good point. Maybe the whole mask thing was due to his accident that
Yeah,
got him
yeah,
where he is in the first place.
yeah. I put that up there. Yeah, that was the. Yeah, I had that on there. Maybe his skin got severely burned or something. I don't know what the backstory is on that one, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I always found him to be funny, especially the way he wears his hat.
yeah.
He reminds me of someone I know. This is I don't know. The dude, I gotta say though, Ed gets so much shit. Like I mean, he poor man. I mean, I can kind of see why he is the way he is. Although he does kind of use Alita to more or less, I guess, satisfy
Yeah,
his
Jay
own desires. But
Yeah, Jay
I
has
can't.
another good point. Why didn't he just get an artificial face? A bunch of those TRs
True.
had artificial faces. So, why didn't he get
Too
one?
broke. I don't know.
Yeah,
It may just be his style. He's feeling depressed, so he looks like that.
He really
I don't
has
know.
that look, that depressed.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of this world look.
yeah, he does.
That's classic scrapyard, though, especially at the
Mhm.
beginning. Everything was just like, people manipulating other people. There wasn't really any like good people.
Yeah, yeah.
Except the leader.
So then the nicest people
I-
in the scrapyard was the homeless people giving her a rat to eat. It's like, here, have a bite.
All right, well, we got him now. This guy. Some people might say, why the hell do you have him in there? Isn't he Alita's enemy? Well, he
Because
is,
he's
but
all over the
he
place.
isn't. Sometimes he isn't,
He's an asshole. I'll say
Yeah,
that
he
much.
is. He definitely is that. But where I've gotten to in the Mars Chronicles, I've gotten to the point to where Alita and I can't remember who was with her. I can't remember, Maxie. Maybe you can help me there. But they approach Nova to help them on some mission. I can't remember what it is, and I got to go back and reread it.
Is
I
this
guess.
Mars Order? In Mars Chronicles?
Yeah, Mars Chronicle. I think it's in the third, or might be in the second volume because that's the one where she's a little older. She's not a baby in volume 2. So
Yeah. So Jay is probably going to correct me on this because he knows everything. But yeah, as I remember, it's Supernova, and he's on Mars. He's there doing his experiments, and Alita doesn't really want to seek his help, but he's about the only one who can help her.
yeah,
Now, my memory is a little bit hazy on this as well because I haven't read it nearly as much as the other two parts. But
yeah,
I think it's after she speaks to Queen Lemura, and they
yeah,
were going to lock her up because somebody who looked like Alita had tried to assassinate Queen Lemura.
yeah,
And Zazie was very, you bitch, how could you? And Alita's like, bitch, what? I didn't do anything. And
yeah,
I think the reason they went to see him was because Alita found out that Erica was a necro soldier, and
yeah,
I think he wanted to know if there was any way to reverse it.
yeah. That's right. And they were
That's
and
what it
one
was.
Nova. Yeah.
I forget what the Necro Soldiers even are.
Well, that was in Mars Chronicle.
Reanimated.
I didn't even realize that Nova was in Mars Chronicle. Well, shows what I know.
It's Supernova, the version with two brain chips
Afro
and a big
Nova?
afro, yeah.
I like that word, Afro Nova.
Yeah, they're throughout the manga. Though there are times he actually helps Alita. There are other times he's opposing or trying to even kill Alita. Not a killer, but just I guess what he's looking for is just how is she going to do here? How is she going to survive this? Or what's she going to do? And he's interested. He's just curious.
I think that's what Edward Norton's Nova's doing too. To be
Yeah.
completely honest.
Well, I
So
wouldn't say
Jaya has given us the good oil. So Jaya says Nova. She goes to ask Supernova if he can resurrect the Enhajar.
Yeah.
In Hajar.
That's what I read in her jar.
Or Ain Hajar.
Well, it's mine. Yeah, for
I do,
German word. So
of course.
Oh, what were you saying, Jeff?
Well, what I was gonna say is, like, I don't think Nova like helped her per se. I think it was just, again, letting things play out
yeah,
because of Karmatron dynamics.
yeah,
He hurts her more than he helps, honestly.
Or maybe the
I
times
mean,
when
he doesn't
his-
help. He just is no longer trying to kill her.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
I'll phrase it a little bit differently, where his interests run parallel with the leaders, and that's why we, like, as the reader, we might view him as helping her, where in reality, like I said, his interests run, for the time being, they run parallel with the leaders. Or, like the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy, sort of thing.
Yes, my friend.
Well, I mean, I don't think he, like, from what I remember, I don't think he like fought to protect her. It was more so like, oh, that's a shame. She might die. This is a failed experiment. This sucks. Okay, gotta go. Like,
Pretty much. The guy's a dick. Man.
Well, didn't he give an upgrade to the Imaginos body because of Supernova?
I don't remember.
Oh, so I get what Jay is saying now. But when Jay says if he can resurrect the Enhajar, an Enhajar is a necro soldier. So I was right, which is nice. Glad the memory cells are actually working correct. Enhajar, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, the one time that I did like Nova though was during Ouroboros, and he decides to put himself in there and almost, if it weren't for how crazy the man is, almost acts like, in some ways, maybe even a better father figure than Ito was. In some ways.
I don't know about that.
In some, I don't know. I mean,
see it. I see it.
I appreciated the fact that he himself was starting to become a victim of his own creation, his own, like the his simulation, because you can't go for like months of perceived time without you yourself changing or getting to know like that person. So at some point he was like forgetting, like, why are we even doing this? It's it's one of those things where like he would wish to be in that point still. Like, it doesn't change the fact that he's freaking psycho crazy, or the crazy atrocities that he has committed.
Well, he's a sociopath too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, homicidal sociopath.
Yes.
And psychopath, because when you look at, like, it's the fact that he does it for experiments is the only thing that really doesn't make him just a crazy Jeffrey Dahmer type serial killer.
Yeah.
Which he still is, like, short of eating them,
and other things,
and where he didn't, Grishka did. So there you go. So,
which isn't saying much, but
he's still the one who designed for that purpose. Yeah. But so when you have those dynamics still, but this is another point where you see Alita changing people around her, even in her being a victim of his, of his creation. She still is impacting him.
Yeah.
In a way too.
And he can't stand that, can he? He cannot stand that he creates having some kind of control or whatever over his destiny or whatever, right? He hates that.
Well, and I think you can kind of see why he goes towards the Karmatron dynamics is because of the fact that he found out that, like, his own brain is not there anymore. Like, so it brings up so many of those questions as of, like, am I, like, I do this because I can, and it's simply proving the fact that he's not, that he's in control, that he's not a victim. I'm not saying that that's exactly what the author was intending, but you could easily come to that conclusion of the character's mindset that's where that started. He's trying to take control of him losing his mind physically and figuratively.
I liked him in that part. It was very brief, but even Alita, you know, she felt bad for him in that moment too.
Yeah.
And that's the only time you get to literally see his face, you know?
I know, and yet I always wondered what he looked like. And I saw his eyes, and I was like, oh.
I know.
Okay.
It was like Wilson from Home Improvement. You never can see the
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is a little kind of random, but we're still on Nova here. But Creaky, did you make it to where the image on the left of Nova blinks every now and then? Because if you stare at that picture long enough, that bastard blinks.
Really?
I'm not the only one seeing this.
I think it's just a JPEG.
No, dude, look at that long enough. Or am I tripping?
Well, I don't know.
Or the image flashes or something. Yo, look at it longer than 10 seconds and tell me if you see that.
Wait.
Tripping balls.
Did they legalize it in your state yet?
I am not tripping, sir. Where's my phone?
I can't see it, John. I've been looking at it straight, and it's just a JPEG. Now, if it was an animated GIF, I could say, "Oh, wow, okay, cool."
Might be my screen doing something weird, but yeah, it looks like it's flickering like every now and then.
Just so you know, Creaky, the guy who invented the file tag calls it a GIF.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that last time, didn't I? I said GIF last time. Yeah, GIF. That's right. Yeah, you're right. I stand corrected.
GIF is peanut butter.
Yeah, that's right. Which goes good with Vegemite. So
I recorded it with my phone.
So Nova is probably one of my favorite characters out of the entire series, just because of how complex he is.
Yeah.
Even though he's a character that you love to hate.
Yeah.
Because it's just he's written so good. And that's what makes him such a good character. There's so much complexity. There's so much that's to him where you get the manga takes its time for you to get to know kind of why he does the things that he does.
Yeah.
And again, he's kind of like a mad scientist from World War II and the Joker combined.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Jay had a good observation, where, about V-Mite. I guess that's, Alita and Erica were eating those sandwiches that guy that was in that van. I can't remember his name now.
He was one of the doctors.
Yeah, that's right. And they were eating V-Mite sandwiches. So I do that's a good point, Jaya. Yeah, I wonder if it does taste like Vegemite. Well, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Or more.
Damn Vegemite.
Happy little Vegemite is bright as like a bee. We all love a Vegemite for breakfast, lunch, and tea.
Gonna have to make a wombo of that now.
Maxie knows the song.
Oh God, yes.
That's an
I was
awesome.
marinated in that stuff growing up.
Oh yeah. The one thing we can agree on.
Well, I've
Vegemite on
acquired the taste for it. I don't spread it thick like you guys do, but I've kind of acquired a taste for it. So,
that's what
So you call it thick?
I was reading an article, and the approach that people should take with Vegemite is the same approach that they should take with pineapple on pizza. Because if you cook it right, or if you make the pizza right, then the pineapple can really enhance the pizza. But if all you're doing is just chucking toppings on top of a pizza base, then it doesn't bring out that taste. All you're tasting is pineapple on bread. I mean, granted that I just like anything on bread, but that's beside the point. But like I said, pineapple does belong on pizza if you make it right.
How the fuck did we get here?
I don't know.
What pineapple
Y'all are
pizza?
making me hungry.
Actually, yeah. Let's get back to Nova.
I just ate a pizza.
Bland.
Oh, flan. Yeah, I love flan.
Man, I actually almost. I mean, I wouldn't go to eat it, but or at least I shouldn't. But I went to a Mexican place the other day, and they had flan on there for like $2.99. I was like, should I like get this just to put it on a little platter and then put on a crazy ass white wig with some glasses and just be like Nova?
It's delicious. You should eat it. It's delicious. Just
It
get
looks disgusting.
It is not.
It is.
Like
It's
pudding?
good.
Do you like pudding?
Eh.
Do you like cheesecake?
Oh hell no. No.
Oh, then you're gonna hate that stuff. What's wrong with you?
Never mind. I'm an ice cream guy. Okay.
What? So you've never had a proper New York cheesecake?
No.
Yeah.
Nope. I have wanted to cosplay Nova though. That'd be so cool.
Ooh.
How hard would it be? Get
Sorry.
some lab coat. I mean, a spoon and some dessert. Crazy ass glasses with a white wig.
Sharing my screen again.
Okay.
Oh no! What? Probably Vegemite or some bullshit. Oh hell no! What is this? Boy.
That's flan.
Creme caramel.
Oh, that would be great. Holy mackerel, that'd be good.
Woolworth. Is that some kind of like?
That's flan.
Yeah. Flan. Yeah, flan.
And the other one is this one.
Someone poured shit in a cup and turned it upside down.
So, flan in Australia is creme caramel. I'm going to go get some later on.
Ugh.
I'm going to buy that.
So if Supernova,
yeah,
flan.
Oh, shop yeah.
Flan is love, flan is life, apparently.
Because he has two bio.
Flan is victory.
That make it Novas when
He better have flan in the movies.
Oh yeah, got to.
It's like a signature thing.
Yep.
Unless Edward Norton doesn't like it. Doesn't like
Do you have any chocolate? No, but I have flan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but Purin in Japan. Okay, cool. So anything else about Nova, you guys?
I like. Gosh, I'm trying to think because I mean, what else other than him being just a good character and him being bad? Like,
he's
so
a
much
good character.
He's a unique character in the sense that he's almost even an anti-hero in a really twisted way. He's antagonist.
Or
He's
actually an anti-villain.
so much more anti-villain. Actually, yeah, that's probably a better word to use.
Yeah.
And like he's definitely not your average villain, that's for sure.
Well, and I guess here's the
his
one
character
thing.
is as black and white as the world of Alita itself. Is as grey as the world of Alita itself.
Yeah.
So here's one thing that I kind of forgot, I guess. But when you look at it, and you don't see this until you get to Last Order, but like you quickly find out, like when they go up to Catharis or Jeru, depending on your translation, is that like you come to really find out that he's been played a victim, like, and so is everyone in Zalem. And like that's where you're like, okay, like yes, he's a crazy psychopath, but like this was his ultimate, like coming up there to kind of, like he wasn't coming up there just to take his seat at a table, like he was kind of coming up there with almost like I still kind of sensed at some point revenge in mind, almost.
What if Embody planned that for Nova? Like, the only reason why he allowed Nova to come up is because he created such a fuss in such a way that almost impressed Embody that he thought, well, he might be a biochip that's worth integrating with the rest of mine. Well, he could be the fourth one.
Well, that was 100% the play. That like that's I mean I guess I thought that was obvious, like that he was like that was like the whole reason why he was brought back up, and that was part of it was because like people in Zalem at some point were in control, like they were under the control of like the mind control of like Methuselahization, although they didn't have Methuselahization for them, but they had the same kind of mind control like situation going, especially with the biochip brains.
Yep.
So like, yeah, that's like he probably orchestrated the people of Zalem getting him back up there so that then he could eventually get up to the elevator. Now, I don't think they foresaw what he did down there, or what he did up in Zalem to happen to destroy Zalem in general, because that kind of destroyed that whole situation. But I do think it was a plan to get him up to Jeru from Embodied. Like, I think that was his plan. He was looking to get that more powerful, and he just happened to be the third iteration of someone who made it up that far. Because obviously there was two other people that made it up from Zalem. He wasn't the first.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got to see all this stuff in the sequel. We just got to see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think we're going to see that. I mean.
Well, I think if we not in the second one we wouldn't, but in a third movie we might.
Yes, I would love to see that.
Oh yeah. Any more thoughts on Nova?
Oh, we had a whole stream on Nova the other day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. No.
Well, half a stream technically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, which Nova are you referring to? Because there are all
there's several of them, isn't there? Yep.
Let me just load up the show notes.
I like Flan Cart Nova.
Flan is victory.
There was one version of his reanimation of himself where he basically just pushed a cart of flan.
Wasn't that in the like the non-canon ending?
No, that was like when he was constantly getting killed. Like that was still in Last Order, and people were like killing off the others because as soon as one would die, they would like regenerate, and then the system that was regenerating him after he got killed each time like broke, and there was.
Oh, we lost. Kuster, I think we lost your audio.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a phone call, so I got to go right now.
Okay. All right, Kuster. Well, thanks for dropping in. Whoops, he's gone. Well, we don't want to we don't want to have the depth of discussion we had last week on Nova because we'll be here till 8 o'clock tonight. Actually, it is almost 8 o'clock here, so.
Lol.
He's definitely an interesting character, though, isn't he? That's for sure. All right, we're moving right along. Did we miss anybody?
We all love Alita, so all of us. No, I'm good. I don't know.
I can't think of anyone that would have a. Well, there's probably several. There was that guy with Figure 4. I can't remember his name. I mean, granted, it was just a casual acquaintance, but it was somewhat, positive because he was helping Alita and Figure 4 when they were in I guess they were in the Badlands or Barjack, weren't they? I can't remember. Yeah. I can't remember his name. I think he ends up getting killed, though, doesn't he, Maxie? That guy that was with
Jorg.
Yeah.
Oh God, Jorg! One of the lamest ass characters. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got all these people who will fight to the death and do all this stuff, and then there's Jorg. It's more like the rest of humanity all bundled up.
I do think that. I think she was a bit mean to him, but he also sold them out, so there's that too.
Yeah.
Now Jaya points out Zazie, but I thought Zazie's a woman, isn't she?
And if the boot fits, wear it, as they say.
Yeah, I think Zazie was a female. Am I wrong about that?
Yes. Yes, this is correct. So
Yeah.
Who's the?
Okay. Okay, I found it. I have found what happened at the end of Last Order because I couldn't remember it. It was pissing me off. It was Don Fua who used the Noble Void Palm to smack the crap out of Zeka, and he ended up on the moon.
I forgot about that conversation. That was a while ago.
Noble Void Palm, goodbye, friend.
Yeah.
Smack. And the last word from Zeka is fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of
Zeka had a Physiroid body too, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful
I don't
stuff.
know if Zeka would have even been able to stand up to Alita. I don't think.
Who was Alita's commander?
Oh,
Gelda. Oh, not Gelda.
no, I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What was that's the guy that she stabbed in the head, right?
He's in issue or volume 2 of MC.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got that.
Are you
right.
talking about the Nazi commander, or are you talking about the?
I'm not
Colonel
talking about
Payne.
I'm not talking about the ghost.
Colonel Payne.
Is Payne's name?
Payne.
My name is Major Benson.
Well, I
Winifred
wasn't talking about the
Payne.
ghost either.
You sound just
I
like
was. I meant the one that was injured before she crash landed on Earth in the original. Well, actually, it was the retconned.
Yeah, it's the retcon, and yeah, I know who you mean.
I can't think of his name. Bartham, something like that. I can't remember.
Bartram.
Yeah, she stabs him in the face. Which, damn, but you're too weak, so I'm gonna kill you and then move on.
Yeah. If you had
talking
Tell
about
me
the one where they
Sunday.
when they discover about the Iron Jar in Mars Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
Every time I hear that, I can't help but think of Eye in the Jar. God. So
Now we got Kunstler back.
Jeff. Oh, Bertram was her partner.
Yeah.
Jared says.
Yeah. But he says he doesn't think that Bertram was Alita's boss. But yeah, I guess you could say that was somewhat of a
Isn't it
positive.
Beltran? Not Bertram.
Bertram.
I'm not sure.
No, I knew you were alive. Parabellum, War Professor Bremen, and Meister Call Quape Gelt. It's been many years, Yoko, my pupil. Although I wouldn't really say he had a positive influence, and maybe he doesn't count as part of this list.
Well, he did help train her, didn't he?
Jeez, lighten up that shit.
Well, they all might have had different specialties within the within Panzerkunst, where they all have certain rankings, but someone might just know how to teach certain things better. It's like having different professors at Hogwarts.
That's one way of putting it.
So, they have different specialties in what they do, but it's all under the same umbrella of martial arts. That's kind of how I think of it. So here's someone you only saw once and you didn't see or they didn't do anything with kind of after. But remember in the Motorball arc where she sees the Red Mountain and you see a flashback of some random guy with some weird-ass face.
Oh, yeah.
Or it looks like a jet turbine's been shoved in his mouth and out the back of his head. And you never see him again.
That was, I think, the guy that later was replaced by Gelda, or retcon with Gelda.
Well, I mean, I don't think Gelda was ever replaced with them. I just at some point that was, that was someone you saw in a flashback that was part of teaching her, and you don't see them. And again, there's a lot to cover in the flashbacks and stuff. And that was just happened to be her first recollection of Mars.
I thought he was supposed to be like her mentor back, like, man, I don't know.
You don't see enough to really tell, but yeah, you're given that impression. But
what about Baron Mustard? And I thought he, from what I remember, he didn't have a positive relationship with Alita, did he?
From what I've seen so far, I don't think he's really had any relationship with Alita.
Yeah.
Wasn't he trying to use her as a weapon against the Queen?
I mean, but I don't think there was any personal contact from him directly. I think what's her name?
Not the Queen,
Erica.
the leader of Kronberg, was it? One of the principalities of Mars. He was basically trying to make out that Alita was the genetic heir.
It wasn't Sidonia, was
So
it?
she was a princess. Holy shit.
No, she isn't. It was all bullshit.
Oh, well. There goes that out the window into the ocean.
Yeah, Jay. It is. This is about men having a positive relationship, but you know what? That's a subject for another stream, I guess. Women who have positive relationships with Alita.
What about Ping Wu? Jay just brought Ping Wu.
Oh yeah. I don't know a whole lot about him. I remember him in the manga, but I don't remember.
I guess
There's
he
so
had
many characters in this damn story.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It all started with old Ito, really, but
Yeah.
Ito.
Well, there was that guy, the guy that drove the van, in the first volume of Mars Chronicles. That's a positive relationship. He took care of Alita and Erica. So, yeah, I guess you could say that. And, Echecutty. That's another one. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, Erica's a woman, so never mind. But wasn't Erica in the beginning of Mars Chronicle not really an antagonist towards Alita, though?
No, they thought they were sisters.
I've not read far into Mars at all.
Yeah, they thought they were sisters, and then this woman shows up and says, "I'm Alita's mother," and stuff like that, and they separate Erica and Alita, and Erica, kind of loses.
Because the orphanage was mean to her. Like they were trying to get her to eat bugs or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Poor kid. That girl has gone through so much bullshit in this story.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear to God, it's ridiculous.
Well, you know what they say, that doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I guess you could say that about Alita, couldn't you?
Well, I mean, she's essentially, at least in that point, I think someone made the argument that Alita isn't really like, someone with a disability. But you look at it, though, I mean, from Mars Chronicle perspective, she's always been in that kind of body.
Yeah.
She's still, she would not have survived had it not been for living in a cybernetic body.
Yeah, I think
in a way you could kind of...
Echecutty, certainly McTeague you could also say too, but Echecutty, he was on that team with her when she was going to challenge Joshigan's team, I guess. So I guess you could say that was a positive relationship. But even McTeague, he didn't really, he wasn't, in her life very long per se, especially in the movie. But, certainly he did help save her, for sure from Grishka, when they were down in the underworld. So I guess you could say that was a positive relationship of saving you from not dying. So that's definitely a positive relationship.
True. Very true.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. Echecutty called Lita Big Sis. That's right.
Big Sis.
Yeah. Who's this Don Fua? I'm not sure I remember him.
So many damn characters.
Yes, I don't remember this one.
It helps when you see images of them. That's the main way I remember a lot.
Yes.
Just seeing an image. If I see an image, I'll remember the name. But just a name, I won't be able to put it to face. Big sis.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because she's tiny.
Well, I know one thing. If Alita was a real person, you had her as a girlfriend, you better walk around with eggshells around her. You piss her off, and it might be your last day on Earth.
Yeah. That's why I don't think Alita is waifu material, honestly.
Well, Angelus and I will disagree with you on that one because she
now
is
movie Alita. They're not too far off from each other. At least at this point in the story, they're not too far off from one another.
Yeah. Well,
the Alita that we know, who she could become later in the sequels, that may change.
Well, the Alita at the end of the movie is more like manga Alita.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I picked up on that when she went into Vector's office.
Yeah, closer, but not totally there. But yeah.
Not completely.
I look at it from the point of where the story takes place in both the manga, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's nothing like the manga Alita." I'm like, at the beginning of the manga, she's not much different at all. She's still that innocent, sweet, I mean, yeah, she still has that darker side, but so does the movie version. She was I don't know if y'all noticed this, but she was very much so enjoying that fight with Garushka in the underworld.
Yeah.
She was grinning. If you actually pause that, every time she's fighting someone, she's smiling. It's hilarious. And when she breaks dude's face against the table, not Zapan's, but another guy, she kind of has her arm, or his neck is caught in her elbow, and she has those creepy ass smile on her face while she's doing it. I love it.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Yeah, it's like she's saying, "I got you."
Yeah, you're mine now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah, there is a lot of characters. We have definitely missed a bunch.
I mean, I really wonder just how many there actually are. Overall.
God almighty.
Many.
Yeah, many. That's a good one. Many.
Trying to think of any of the other. Oh wait, now there's one that no one's mentioned. Turtle motorballer guy. What the hell was his name? Oh, damn it. The big guy, who's basically an Alita stan. You know who I'm thinking of, but I can't. His name is escaping me. It starts with a T.
I can't remember.
Oh, he's.
Is it Teagle?
Yes, Teagle. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Was he on that team with her and Adjicuddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Teagle desperately wanted to be on the team, and everybody thought he was the shame of the third.
And then
he couldn't even get around the loop because he couldn't get up enough speed because his body was too heavy. But he was an amazing blocker because he was so large. And there was a point where Alita and I think it was Armblessed were fighting, and the motorball went off into the spike field next to the track, and so it got replaced on a pedestal 50 meters from the finish line. And Teagle was going past it at the time, went, "Oh, a motorball," and he picked it up and he wandered across the line with it. So he won the race.
Yeah.
And it was the first time he'd ever won, but because he won the race, he got to be in Alita's challenge team.
That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, and no one won that bet. As far as all the gambling, it was a huge upset. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. It was like Super Bowl III, guys. I bet nobody here knows what Super Bowl III is. New York Jets beat the Baltimore Colts.
What year was that?
1969, I think.
God, that was the year I was born.
That was a good 20 years before I was born.
Yeah, I was 20 years old, boys.
20 years young.
So you were a hippie?
Not really. No, I wasn't a hippie, but I did have some hippie friends. That's for sure.
My dad was a hippie.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah.
I like him.
He grew up during the heart of all that. He was born in 1945, so.
Yeah, I remember when I was going to the university, there was these two hippies I knew, and every time we saw each other, I'd say hip eyes, and they'd say Gary. It was kind of a hippie thing to do,
Man, we have trailed.
Yes, we have.
Oh my goodness.
We have trailed big time.
Welcome to the chaos.
I'm still
podcast.
trying to decide. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I write Teagle into my fanfic.
Honestly, I mean, he'd be really hard to put in there and actually him be taken seriously.
Well, he wasn't meant to be taken seriously. He was comic relief.
True, but I know, but I mean, I figured with this maybe it would be more.
Anybody else, guys?
I don't know.
Well, not unless you start going into like side characters and like characters that don't like have a part in the story but don't have a major stake in it.
Oh, what about the barkeep? Ken's bar. The dad who I can't remember. Didn't he
Koyomi
up as a sacrifice?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he had a relationship with Alita at all.
I don't remember if he did or not.
But in the manga, I guess when she had to have some kind of relationship with him to be able to sing in the bar.
Well, she saved his daughter. That's why.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, in the manga, McTeague or Murdoch, in the manga, certainly, she had a relationship with him there. There was more than in the movie, obviously. That's Koyomi's father, I guess.
Wait a minute, I'm getting too confused.
The barkeep found Koyomi. And basically decided to take her in as his stepdaughter.
Yeah.
But he was a bit of an alcoholic, so that's why Koyomi ended up wandering through the Badlands.
Now, was Murdoch, though? Murdoch was Koyomi's father, though, right?
No, that was Sarah's father. That's where the confusion was coming from. I was like, what the hell? How did we get here?
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
You had me confused. I was like, wait, hold it back on.
I got my wires crossed.
Oh, you're good, man.
So anyway.
So many characters.
Had a senior moment. Okay, anything else, guys?
Not that I could think of. So.
Cool.
What about the king of the robots?
Oh, the big giant. Wait, the giant dude. The
caterpillar robot dude.
Well, could you classify that as a male?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Good point.
Yeah. He's an it, or it's an it.
I'm just.
What about the crazy, crazy old dude in the Last Order who went bonkers and started sticking his dingus through the walls, or was he not? I don't think he was.
No, that was Rakan. That's one of the
Rakan, yeah.
The electromagnetic karate mob.
Yeah, and did he didn't fight Alita directly either?
No.
I think he was against Zazzy.
He's a hilarious character.
I hate him.
What about Merlin?
Character? Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, Jaya brought that up.
Such a weird
kind of an oppressing force in some ways, though. I mean,
or no, maybe he was called Merlin. Because Arthur was the guy who started the Melchizedek. I can never say that name.
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek, yeah.
Melchizedek. Yeah. You should look up that name and read about it. It's very interesting in context of the story and
what Melchizedek.
Mm-hmm.
It's a biblical
priest of Salem.
I mean, if you look at the biblical context,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Very interesting because he's like the king of Salem, as it's written
Something
out.
like, yeah.
And then Melchizedek is like basically the AI construct for Zalem.
Yeah,
I've not read it. I've not read that, at least the original series, ever since 2019. I've not touched it since. It's been a
Zulu
while.
got out and came back in. We were spoiling it for him. So.
Oh, whoops.
Yep. Sorry about that, Zulu.
I'm sorry. My foot.
Yeah, so you should be. No, I'm just kidding.
Fine.
All right, guys. Well, I think we beat that up enough. I mean, we could sit here and think of characters all night because there is so many in the manga. You know, holy moly. So anyway, just wanted to throw this one back up there. This is our lady right here. That's our queen. And without her, the movie Alita, I don't think would have been near as good. So,
amen.
Yep. Be nice, Maxie, if we could get her on Radio Chaos stream, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
God, it'd be nice.
Well, we'd have a line out the door to come on the stream to talk to her.
Dude, it would be insane.
I bet we'd have 200 viewers if we had that.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easily. Especially since there's a lot more Rosa fans, mainly for Alita, because it's probably her biggest role, but also because there were fans of her long before Alita showed up. Her role wasn't really that big in those movies, but
yeah,
it's still there.
She's been in a lot of stuff, man, in the Scorch Trials and
Chips. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
no, I haven't seen Chips, but I did see the Maze Runner. She was in. I saw the another one she was in. She didn't have a big part in, but she was in it. She played a soldier in Divergent. So,
that's right. Yeah, she was, I think, bullied for that role because people didn't like her hair or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's why she got off Twitter.
Oh, that yeah.
That pisses me off.
Fucking Twitter.
Maybe she'll get back on again one day.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, she got some hateful tweets, didn't she?
Holy shit. Is that her real hair or is that an edit?
Yeah, God, it's her job.
That's got to be an edit. That is an edit because the dress and like that pose that she's doing.
I can't.
Or her hair's a lot shorter.
Oh, I see it. I'm kind of stepping a ways back from the screen. It's kind of hard to tell.
Well, I know one thing about Rosa's number one in my book, Jack. She's what made Alita happen.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They had a decent list of other people that could have played her.
They did.
Which I think Zendaya would have been pretty good too, actually.
I think so, yeah. I think she would have been.
Rosa was queen of the crop there. I think.
She was. Yeah, she was. All right. Well, anyway, I think we beat that one up. Maxie, you want to? Oh, first of all, let me get by this one. You guys know I got to have this one in here. Why is this image here?
Can I just do a screen share before you wrap it up? I've been hunting for this image for like 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, but why is this image here? Because I like it, and as Angela said last week, I'm running the stream, so there it is. But to paraphrase Gowishka, I'm only here for our girl and the elite army. So go ahead, Maxie. Let's. There's all those characters.
Yeah.
So I think that's got Last Order as well because I'm seeing some characters from Last Order in there as well.
Do we know how? This is kind of random, but do we know how tall Aga is? Mubadi.
I think he's a big dude.
Yeah,
I posted a picture of her standing next to him, and it's like, damn.
Well, she's not very big anyway.
I know, but that's what I was trying to wonder if he's like.
Now he had like three brain chips, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Body, yes.
Well, you talk about your split personalities or multiple personalities.
Yeah, it's a scary dude.
Yeah. course, they got Den and Chaos is in like two different people, but
Shh.
yeah.
I wonder if I can zoom in on this. Let's see.
I'm guessing there's someone who's not read in the chat somewhere. Man, figure.
So it's not super clear, but that's
That's
Ed, and then his face is sort of a dark blue.
Oh, there was another one. What's that guy? Umba? Is that was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one. And then
Dude,
he looks
really weird in that picture. It doesn't look like him.
And there's Shamira.
Shamira, yeah.
And
I
Joshua.
like her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's Kana or what's her name?
Kanya.
Yeah, Kanya.
See, Shamira was Joshigan's little sister, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so weird seeing all these characters in color.
Really the mirror.
Yeah.
That dude with his brain hanging out that really hated Alita.
Yeah.
And the guy he worked for. Can't remember their names.
Who is that gray guy on the left there? It's got looks like a horseshoe symbol on his forehead.
That's Zerkapan.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And that's Makaku there.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy with the red face and the white mustache is Jashigan's master of now. What's the combat art?
Panzerkunst?
No. It's a different combat art.
Wasn't it a karate type thing?
Machine clutch.
Yeah.
And the pink one there is Crimson Wind.
Yeah, Crimson Wind.
Oh, and that there's Teagle right there.
Yeah.
That's Teagle.
Oh, behind Crimson Wind, yeah.
Yeah. So Teagle's in there. And that's Murdoch and his daughter. That's Sarah.
Yeah.
Not quite sure who that is. That actually might be Professor Nova's sort of mutant bodyguard dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's Fury. There's Fury
there. Den's armor is green.
Apparently he's military green, which is kind of weird.
That princess is always carrying that damn
teddy bear.
Cybernetic
teddy bear, yeah. That is that's the guy who killed his father. He's played by an Asian guy in the movie. I'm trying to remember his name. He's a hunter warrior.
Oh, yeah.
I know the scene and all.
Yeah.
Gone blank.
Brain fart.
Yeah.
What about?
He's got 106 confirmed kills.
No, that was Master Clive Lee. He was.
Yeah, that's Clive Lee. That is Clive Lee.
That was 207, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, so that's Clive Lee.
Yeah. Now Clive Lee or Master Clive Lee in the anime was a little bit different, wasn't he, than he was in the movie? I mean, he was when Alita was fighting. How do you pronounce his name in that one? Grusicka or whatever his name, whatever it was.
That's Bigot Eisenberg, head of the GIB.
Oh, that guy. Ugh.
Who's that guy with the black hair sticking out all over the place at the top there?
Steve, I was just about to say, they got the King of Mars back there. The robot-looking toy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is that the one that fights in Ouroboros? The
yes.
big giant robot thing? Yeah.
Yep.
So much stuff in here. We could almost do a stream.
God,
we could get a high quality version of it.
We could be talking about this for another 3 hours.
There's
Is
that
that
robot. I think so. Then there's even that head of that thing that tries to kill everyone in Zalem. That what's that guy?
yeah, the other robot. Yeah.
What's his name?
This is the guy whose brain chip's in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what his name was. Starts with an R.
Who's the weightlifter guy with the cool Ray-Bans? Who is that?
That's you, Gary. No, I'm fine.
Oh no, it's not.
he was one of the leaders of the brain chipped group in Zalem who were fighting the unbrain chipped kids.
Damn, now I feel bad.
He wasn't very nice.
Feels worse.
He lifts some weights. He can't be all bad.
Oh, he was killing people with those weights. There's blood.
Well, I guess he is bad then.
Those are the girls from Zalem, and that's
Yeah.
one of them mother.
There's Roscoe, and is that Pingwu behind him?
Roscoe, that's what it was.
Yeah, Roscoe. Yeah.
Sounds like the name of.
I think Pingwu was over this side somewhere.
No, it looked like Pingwu was behind Roscoe.
Deckman, yeah.
There's Deckman 100.
Yeah.
And that is Eli. Oh, and that's the mutant thing. The mutant guy. So that other one wasn't him.
That's Elfin.
And there's Elfin's Dwarf, and obviously everybody knows who this is.
Who's the little boy down there?
That's what I was just thinking. The one that was playing with that guy.
That's the one that she saves from the thing.
Oh, yeah. And he ends up going back to that school or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Zex and Zazie. This is the Z corner, obviously.
Yep.
Pingwu. Yeah, and we're back around here again.
So many damn characters.
That's a lot of characters.
God, and that's not even all of them, I don't think.
What an imagination.
I know. First thing I think. Holy. And then you got her right at the center.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it.
You know, I like her in that body right there, but I really like that body that's got the tail. That's the one I like.
Really?
Cat Lita.
I do. I love that body.
Cat Lita.
Cat Lita. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if I can do it, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, who is this guy behind Alita's right shoulder? Has the green headpiece on with the black hair. Who is that guy?
This guy?
Yeah.
That's Pingwu.
Oh, that's Pingwu. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the first people she meets in Zalem.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Then who's the guy beside
that's
Roscoe?
Pingwu's girlfriend, who's the doctor.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Gilda, too.
Oh, and there's the king of the robots.
Yeah. Where's Gelda? I don't see her.
Off to the right, or off to the right.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
Hey, young Erica.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So weird to think this story's been going on for 30 years.
There's that creepy cameraman guy.
Yep.
I hated him. I honestly hated him.
Who's the guy behind Roscoe then?
Yeah.
So Roscoe's there. You mean this guy?
That's that weightlifter guy.
No, below him.
Oh, below. Oh, that's just what is that?
That's what I'm saying. That face looks like Pingwu. That's all I'm saying.
But the same sort of long face, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was someone from Zalem that
that's also
a big part in the story. So this is sort of the Zalem corner, the early part of Last Order.
Yeah, she rescued them, doesn't she?
This is the Nova corner.
Yeah.
The Nova corner. I love that.
Yeah.
Sort of the Space Angels through here.
Yep.
Mars, Ladder. Everyone knows who these guys are.
Yep.
Well, sort of the Scrapyard, Motorball, and the Badlands corner.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their little zone.
Yeah, they do. God, Koshiro had an imagination. Holy moly.
Yeah.
A lot more than a lot of these other franchises. That's for damn
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Could you imagine working on this for 30 years?
Right?
God almighty. How old is that Koshiro?
He's a year older than me.
He's like 58.
Well, hell, he's got another few more years left in him. Hell, he could double that.
Well, actually, no, he's nearly 2 years older than me, so he's 53 and I'm 51.
Okay. Well, he's got some years left. He can double the size of that.
He's pretty much the same age as my sister, so same year, 67. When you were 17, Creaky.
Yeah. I'm 72 going on 120. Yeah.
I thought you were 72 going on infinity, according to you.
Well, I am. I'm 72 going on 18. That's what I am.
Yeah, Chaos, we're still on.
Yep, we still are. Yeah, we are.
Can't get enough of Alita.
That's right.
But I figured that now that I've extended the stream by 10 minutes, we can probably call it.
Yeah, I think so. But not before, though. Not before we talk a little bit about what's going on tomorrow, and there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that, man.
Speaking of which, Angela, have you got some time after this to help me go through and find all those damn questions? I hate trying to hunt through a Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Because it's like looking at a tree. You got to find every branch.
Give me about half an hour.
Right.
Just a bit of a break from the PC screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'll go and unsquare your eyes.
Yeah, I'll leave the StreamYard up for sure. You know, we can chat about stuff after that, but this is going to be huge right here. This is huge.
Well, I will drop a bomb on at least some of you guys and say that it was 18 years between when Lita worked on the script and the movie came out.
Wow.
So she worked on this script in 2001.
Holy crap.
A long time coming.
Yeah.
So if we ask her questions and she can't quite recollect the answers, don't be too surprised.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we won't hold it against her for sure.
No.
But,
she's coming on. That's a big one for us.
I thought this was a more recent, you know.
Well, I thought so too. I barely heard about this movie as a concept being made back when I first got the books out of the library in 2006.
Man. She's like the second or third person in the credits for the movie, too.
Well, Zulu's got a good question. How much time do we have dedicated to the interview there, Maxie?
So the stream will be starting at 9 p.m. UTC.
Really? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, Creaky. Jesus Christ, that was fun, wasn't it?
Oh God Almighty, man!
Did you get an education?
Oh God, man, I was freaking out, man.
What happened? Oh, when you got the time zones mixed.
Oh man,
I don't know how you guys keep track of that shit. I've been sitting here this whole time wondering, like, how do y'all?
Man, I was so worried I was going to get the wrong time down there, and my brain wasn't working. And I was saying, oh my God, I'm going to have this thing. I'm just going to be an hour late, and she's going to be waiting, and I'm not going to be on. You know, I'm not going to have the StreamYard up. I mean, holy crap.
Well, time zones are confusing enough, but when you had daylight savings coming and going all around the world to it, and then it's something about Americans. Like I'm not necessarily having a go at you all, but I'm just saying that
yes, you are.
You presume that your time is the only time.
Oh no, I don't do that.
You're not wrong.
Well, a lot of the East Coasters do, because it's like it's just ET, Eastern time. I'm like, no, it's EDT and EST because you have two different times. Oh no, it's just ET. It's just Eastern time.
No,
and you just have to deal with the fact that it changes. And I'm like,
no. I've never said that. I've never said that. I've always said either EDT or in my case.
I said I wasn't necessarily referring to anybody who's talking on this panel, but There
Yeah.
are quite a number of Americans who think
Yes.
that their money and their time and their country are the only things in the world.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Well,
And
hell,
it
I
gets
didn't
very
know-
confusing when you try to explain to them, no, this is the context in which you relate to the rest of the world. And they go, no, it isn't. We're just this. I don't think outside my own bubble.
Well,
So-
you know what, Maxie, I didn't know there was a British Standard Time until yesterday.
No, it's British summer time.
Because I thought everybody was just over there in London was going by GMT or UTC, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I thought that was just it for them. Then that was what was screwing with my mind.
Isn't there talk of doing
But
away
you've
with
got the nomenclature wrong, Creaky. It's not British Standard Time. It's British Summer Time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
So British Standard Time is GMT/UTC, right? That
Yeah.
is the standard, and it does not change. But when they do daylight saving, BST comes into existence. It doesn't exist during winter.
And that's what was screwing with my mind. Right?
Yeah, I know. You gotta wrap your head around all this stuff.
Everyone in the chat is saying good night, Radio Chaos.
Yeah.
That's gold.
So anyway, so the situation tomorrow is that it starts at 9 p.m. UTC. So if you do a Google search for any decent time zone calculator, you can just plug that in. It will tell you what the time zone, what the time will be in your time zone. You can just type it into Google. You can say 9 p.m. UTC is what in my time zone, and it will tell you.
Yeah. Well, there's a website. That has that.
Yeah,
So.
but you just type it straight into Google and it'll give it to you. So because Google knows what time you're running because your
location,
yeah, well your system clock is accessible by your browser, so it will go. Your system clock says this, therefore you're in this time zone with this modification, and this is what the time will be.
Yeah.
Because goodness knows it confuses enough of the rest of us.
So how many folks are we going to have on the stream tomorrow to interview, or you're going to interview later? But
well, we're going to interview later, so I will sort of herd the cats, and I'll get you guys to ask as many of the questions as you posed. So everybody doesn't have to listen to me just chatting to her the whole time. Right. But it would be good if we can get some people who know some of her other works, like Avatar, Altered Carbon, Shutter Island, and might have one or two questions about that, because I get the distinct impression that we'll have all these questions about the original Alita script, and she won't have much to say because it was 18 years ago and she can't remember much. So we don't want to run out of stuff to talk about in the first 20 minutes. So
I doubt we'll run out.
I'm hoping we don't, but it'd be good if we could have a few other questions smattered in there to show interest in her rather than just interest in the one thing she did 18 years ago.
The only thing that I had thought of, which I don't think actually ties in that well, but it may not have even been something that she wrote per se. Because I know the Altered Carbon's based off, I think, a book. But was that I noticed that the stacks, which without getting too detailed here, is the things that they don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a brain chip, but it's not a brain chip. But they're shaped exactly the same way as they basically contain everything about your DNA. It's like the brain chips in Battle Angel, and they're shaped exactly the same way. I kind of wondered if maybe I don't know if she would have had any say in that, or if that was something she wrote that was creative, artistic side of things.
Well, as a writer, a lot of stuff just percolates inside your head, and then you go and do something you think's original, and then someone will say, "Oh yeah, that looks like this," and you go, "Oh crap, it does too. Oh crap, I must have been subconsciously referencing that." And
right. Well, that's why I wonder is maybe it's a subconscious thing, or I don't know how I would actually frame that question without it sounding strange and kind of random. It may not have been something that she did.
Yeah.
Possibly not. I mean, you could ask it. So, did you have anything to do with the way the stacks turned out in Altered Carbon? And if so, were you referencing the brain chips from the Alita manga, or was it just something that just turned out in
Maxie,
the same
always
way?
knowing how to.
But one of the things I would like to ask her about Avatar is, was she the one, or who did, if she wasn't, came up with the idea of those floating mountains? You know, what they call them, the Hallelujah Mountains. You know, I mean, seriously, those mountains in Avatar, they're off the ground, they're floating. You know,
Yeah, that's because they're heavily veined with unobtainium, which makes them float.
yes, that's exactly right. And I was, you know, that was kind of interesting to me. You know, plus I guess the atmosphere is denser on Pandora. You know, which is I heard somewhere that it's really it's a planet that's orbiting either Alpha Centauri or maybe Proxima Centauri. I saw that somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's the moon of a gas giant.
Sure.
That's what I thought too. I think you're right.
Jaya had to go, so see you, Jaya.
See you later, Jaya.
Janus Day.
Okay, well, anyway,
so to actually answer Zulu's question, she said she'd have an hour for us. So the first hour of the stream, we'll be talking to Leta Calogridis.
Nice.
That's a lot to fit in an hour.
Well, you know, we're already supposed to have half an hour for Tilly, and she hung around for over an hour. So, you know,
That's true.
A good time.
She was having fun. Tilly was having fun.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed that I couldn't get a connection. I wanted to be there for that. That was so cool. I was able to listen. It kind of cut out a few times, but she was so happy to be on.
Watch it back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen most of it already.
Yeah, I watched it even after we were on.
She was great. She was so happy to be there. And Tainted, I don't know if y'all noticed this. I think I commented in the chat that day. Tainted, her, I can't. Yeah, I don't know what they call them. They were actually in the chat talking to us. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think Tainted might be a husband and wife operation. They're a small, people with what's the correct terminology? I think they say exceptional people. I can't. Words English. Come on, work.
Yeah.
Me every day.
Well, yeah. I saw Tilly on a show that was on Jeremy Wine, I think is his name. He has a talk show, and she was on that, and she was great on that. I mean, seriously, she was a delight on that thing. I mean, she is so affable, you know. I mean, so engaging, you know, on those, like she was on our show. You know, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Well, just last month she was on Kaspersky Next, which is sort of a live stream that they did, which, you know, there's a recording of, where they had a bunch of people who had cybernetic replacement limbs and were talking to them about, you know, how much it had changed in the last decade, as Tilly mentioned to us, and also what they saw as what was coming in the future and how they were looking forward to it and everything. So
yeah, and I saw Tilly has a video on there about, you know, how she uses her you know, cybernetic hands, and she even, like you said, she showed that what she had when she was 2 years old and stuff like that. It was really interesting, you know. But that on that one show, that Jeremy Wine show I was watching, it's a, you know, I guess it's a Brit show, but it you know, what would that, every time they showed a picture of her as a baby without those hands, oh man, I just wanted to cry, boy. I mean, because I mean, you know, a little kid, you know, without hands, you know. But anyway, she came through it real good, you know.
Well, it's like we were saying with Alita never having had a biological body. You don't miss it if you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just used. You might feel a little jealous or a little sort of a feeling of missing out, seeing other people having things that you don't have, but you don't intrinsically miss it because you never actually got to use it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that about Alita that I found interesting is how she doesn't have a body that's meant to quote unquote love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which that adds a whole. I think it's actually one of the deepest parts of the entire story.
Yeah, I think so.
Quite. Oh,
Although she does at the end, or at least.
well, one.
Yeah, at least.
The
At least.
original version of her.
Yeah,
does.
that's right. Yeah.
Are we still
She
live?
sort of gets a happy ending.
Yeah, in Last Order. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the biological brain Alita gets a bioprinted body. So
Yep.
it is actually the first physical body that she has.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he got that idea from 3D printing,
Oh,
because I think we've
probably.
had 3D printers for probably 15 or 20 years.
Oh, they've been around a while.
Yeah, exactly.
A long while.
Yeah.
Look, she's doing a Cameron.
But
Starts at the
today,
letter
they're
A,
absolutely
letter
just
A.
crazy how advanced they've gotten now.
Oh, yeah.
And affordable. I've been thinking about getting one, actually.
Yep.
Wish.
But she must do A and S movies because Stutter Island.
Yeah.
No, no.
Was it
Did you
Shutter
say
Island?
Stutter Island or
Yeah, Angelus was joking with me, saying something. I hope I don't stutter about Shutter Island. So I called it Stutter Island.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's,
Okay,
I feel like
guys.
that's where I'm from sometimes. Stutter Island. Jeez.
Delete, that's all, folks.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
guys. Well, I guess I'm going to bring the stream to a close. God, we've been going for over 3.5 hours. Holy.
Yeah.
It's been
Talking
fun, though.
friends.
God, it's fun to do this. I mean,
It is. Get caught up in conversation. You forget where the
that's
world
why,
is.
Maxie, whenever I get to do the Radio Chaos stream, I never bitch about it because I love doing it. So, Okay, guys. Well, anyway, I guess kind of like what we do on the Radio Chaos stream, we do our call to action, and that'll be on my count of 3. It'd be 1, 2, 3.
Bye,
Bye,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Oh, Blu-ray, baby. Yeah.